No Ideas Original Podcast, episode 119. Let's get Robin. Get it started. Dion Broadway, what's good, brother? How you doing? Peace. You want to join the conversation tonight, Dion? We got some good discussion we about to have. Copy. Bet we're gonna be on for a while. Oh, no doubt. Rob, where you at, brother? There you go.
Yo.
What's good, man? How you doing?
What's up, champ? What's good with you, man?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Rough allergy day, man. My allergies are killing me.
It's kicking in already, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's up to the OG? I see you, OG, on the check-in.
How are you?
Honestly, man, I lost a mentor today. Well, I
Oh,
found out about a mentor that really hit home. Shout out to Melrose Community School, my private school that I went to down in the South Bronx. Um, this man, his name was Mr. Johnny Broughton. We affectionately know him as Mr. Lee. This is the man that really he said he set the bar high, but he set a precedence for me at a young age. Man was a man of discipline, but he was also a man of pure love. So I want to send my condolences to the Broughton family, to my whole Melrose community, alumni. I mean, he was the pillar of a great teacher, a great mentor, a great guy. He got in your ass if he needed to, too, son. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
one thing he said for me was think before acting.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Give it a good thought because it may cost you. So you want to think that over before you do it. And I appreciate him for that. So rest in peace, remembered in perfection, Mr. Lee.
Damn, so
Outside of that,
what
huh?
happened to him?
I don't know, man. Classmate hit me up early this morning about 7:30. I seen a number. I was like, this ain't good. You know, you kind of get that sense when you get that call out of the blue.
Yeah.
And and then, she hit me with it. And I was like, wow. What's up to the God out there? Lordy, I see you. Um, Yeah, it hit me kind of hard, man, because I was like, man, this is a great guy. Like, I know I'm not the only one affected by this. The whole school, though. I mean, we got a large alum. I mean, I graduated in '86, but this was a small independent school ran by a family from St. Thomas, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, very small, but we was a family unit. It was on one floor. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
went from kindergarten to the eighth grade. And because of that school, I learned how to be punctual. I learned how to be respectful. It taught me a lot of things um, that I use to this day, man. Here it is. I've been here a couple of decades, so
Wow.
um,
Well,
he was a great guy.
rest in peace to the brother.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yo, so we got a pretty good discussion on deck for tonight. The
Yo, son. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Yo, the first joint we got to talk about, which is very interesting to me, is Florida, because Florida is wild. Yo, Florida could be a backwoods state, and they do
Yeah, but
some
Florida's off the hook,
yeah,
son.
some goofy stuff. But Florida
Yeah.
now, and I want to make sure I get this correct. Florida is looking at signing into legislation a law that requires high school students to take financial literacy courses to graduate, including lessons on credit scores, managing
hmm
card debt, types of bank accounts to open, and how to file your taxes. What's
hmm
what are your thoughts on that?
Yo, I think it's an excellent idea to offer students a course in that. But I'm starting to realize how they throw the word mandate now. That word is being thrown around a lot now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is mandated. Um, but I mean, to get kids to know how to manage bank accounts, know about their credit. I mean, there's certain things that I didn't know as a young guy, loan policies and insurance policies. I didn't get to learn that until my 30s and 40s. You know what I'm saying? But if you can get to learn that going into adulthood, I think that's a win-win. But make sure kids are literate first. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, man. People don't like to read. People don't like to, if they see words in front of them, they will not engage. Now,
Yeah.
my question is, how do you get high school kids to engage in financial literacy? It ain't about just grabbing the bag,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
no, that's a fact, and that's why I'm surprised with with Florida their approach, because to me they always seem backwards. But then I thought about it, I'm like, yo, this is not really a new concept, because remember many years ago, I don't know about you, but I know when I was in school there was home economics, and in home
Right. What,
they taught like a lot of simple concepts that were related
how
to
to
kind of
cook, how to
managing
boil
accounts,
water.
right? But yo, here's the bug thing about it though, there was an element which what I think kind of made home ec go away and made people have a different opinion on it, was the fact that home ec started introducing a concept where they started talking to people about like birth control and safe sex and stuff like that. And there was
Right. It,
a
it, it,
lot of
it
people
it
that weren't
detoured.
comfortable. Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
that weren't comfortable with that discussion. And like, yo, why are you introducing the topic of sex and condoms and stuff like that in school? So before you know it, home ec was out the window. But home ec used to be like that was mandatory. You had to participate in home ec. So I'm guessing that they'll try to bring it back in some shape, form, or fashion like that. But it should be something that should be taught, because there are a lot of kids that just don't have any idea whatsoever on how these things work. Like, yo, when I was working in foster care years ago, there were
Right.
to have to do what was called an Ansel Casey assessment, and
What's
it was
that?
independent living skills assessment. So it was basically done to
Okay.
evaluate if kids were prepared to live independently, because they had a lot of kids that would sign themselves out of foster care at 18, or they would
Really?
age out of foster care at 21, and they had no
Right.
living skills. So they would do like a survey, a pre and a post test on them, and they would ask them questions like, where do you go to get your taxes done? You know,
Right.
what do you have to do to open up a bank account? It was like very basic questions,
General.
but you'd be
Right.
surprised a lot of kids didn't know it. Now the other element of it is that that wasn't specific to kids that were in foster care. That was just for kids in general. Like that's been a lost art, that people don't really talk to kids about finances. A lot that people learn or kids learn by way of finances is just watching
Right.
their elders kind of model it.
Right.
Oh, mom got money, and mom saved money, or mom cashed a check and she went and did XYZ. And people sort of repeat those steps without actually understanding the rhyme and the reason as to why that stuff is done.
That's
And
a fact.
the other thing to think about it too is like, yo, we're from an age where, our grandparents didn't trust banks, so there was money under the mattress type
Yes.
and stuff like that. So we may not have really
Yo,
gotten the
and we
education around
and we
how,
still do that. We still do that in this house. We got money in the walls.
yo,
Yes,
but yo, you know what? So we need to figure out a way to help students understand prior to graduating, like, okay, this is what comes with taking these loans, or this is why you need to have health insurance or life insurance and stuff like that. I think
right.
conversations like you said that most people don't have till later in life. So for Florida to actually be looking at that, implementing that into their curriculum, like, yo, I tip my cap to them.
Absolutely, man. And Florida's not the only state. I think there are 11 other states that offer this opportunity. I think Alabama, it's a couple of states that offer this opportunity. But these states that offer them, they aren't the major cities. I think Florida is the major state. You got like Oklahoma,
Yo,
Nebraska.
I wouldn't see that coming from Alabama. I would
You
not
know what
see
I'm saying?
Alabama.
Who is it? Do I have it on here? I thought I written that down. But
But
nah,
you know
it's
something?
what?
Maybe Alabama because out there, in the city we have like we're like sort of predisposed to renting and stuff like that. But out in Alabama,
Mhm.
I'm sure there's opportunities to rent. But most people is like, well, this is my family's property. This is my family
Right.
house and stuff like that. So I could see how they would be gearing people towards having those conversations and understanding how those things work. It's to me, it's
Mhm.
super important because you get a lot of kids that are going out and they signing these crazy car notes, um,
Mhm.
and with high interest and getting credit cards. Once you go to college, they hit you up. They give you a credit card just because you enrolled in college, hitting you
That's
up
it.
with crazy interest rates and have you in debt for the rest of your life.
And that's the plan, man. It's my thing is these courses are offered in many of these schools in these areas that I'm talking about out of the 11 states out of the 50 states. But only a small amount of kids are interested. Only 20% of
Yeah.
the kids
Yeah.
take those courses as a prerequisite or just as an elective or whatever case it is
Peace, Norm.
for them. What's up, Norm? For them to learn, you know what I mean? And you hear it all the time, man. My credit is bad. I need a cosigner. I need these different things. But when you're young and you're ambitious and you want things overnight, especially with this young crowd today,
Mm-hmm.
they want everything microwave fast.
Yeah,
They
instant.
ain't waiting. They ain't waiting for their credit score to go to 600, 700.
Yeah.
I can't get it now. I don't want it. I'll just scheme a way to do it, son.
Yo, you
Um,
know what it
but
is
if
though?
they,
The
what's
reason,
that?
sorry to cut you off, but I think the disconnect around the importance of credit scores is because we live in an age where even with a horrible credit score, you could get pretty much what
You
you
can still
want.
get what you want.
Yeah, and people don't understand the concept around how like the interest is related to the credit score. So you can have jacked up credit and go out and get yourself a 2000 Honda Accord with a car note of $800. People mindset is like, yo, they still
I
finance
still got
for the car.
it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like people if you trying to get a flat screen TV. Like people are like, oh, I can't afford or I'm not gonna buy a TV or whatever. I go to rent a center and get it. But the interest rate associated with
Oh,
stuff like that at rent a center is like, yo, that's crazy. It goes back to what you said, that instant gratification. So you can't make the direct correlation or the connection as to why does my credit score need to be good when I know I can still get the same stuff that I wanted before.
right. And like I said, man, it's definitely a great piece of knowledge to have once you graduate, moving into the adult world. Even if you don't go to college, you still have to make money. You still have to take care of yourself. Even if you're living with your parents at that point of finishing school are going to ask you, yo, you got to pay a bill around here if you plan on staying here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to manage your money a lot better. You can't go buy video games and be hanging out and drinking and doing what you want. And then when it's time for you to pay that bill, oh, I ain't got no money. Well, you know what? That front door, that porch out there is cold. I'll send you a blanket.
Yeah, I wonder when we're gonna find out what the driving force behind this was. Like, is it because to me, Florida is like I said, Florida's so backwards. Maybe the public assistance rate is high or something like that. There has to be
Yeah,
something
there's a
there
trigger.
that
There's a
triggers.
trigger. There's a trigger. Well, most of any child's behavior, whatever it is, starts at home. And like you said, if you don't see that at home, you don't have that conversations at home. You see it, you bring that attitude with you to school.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? You see kids coming in decked out, Jordan up, hats and all that, and they ain't buy that. Their parents bought that.
mm-hmm.
So you can tell when a kid knows the value of a dollar versus, you know, being material, so on and so forth. Um, but I think that has a lot to do with it, man. The parenting part, where they come from, a demographic, You know, schools nowadays, at schools when we grew up, they weren't designed to teach us about finance. They were designed pretty much to make us workers, make us obedient enough
Yep.
that after school you got a job.
Mhm.
And if you were inclined enough to go to college, you did that. But, you know, me myself, I speak for myself. After high school, once I got my diploma, it was work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any interest in college, so to speak. Although I did go to Monroe for a little while to play ball, but I was like, man, I did all this time in high school. I'm done with school. I'll just get a job,
That was
and
the
I'm and I've been working. I've been working ever since. You know what I mean?
no, that was the sign. That was kind of like the sign of the times for us. Like going to college was sort of like that was like the that wasn't the norm. Whereas now, more
Wasn't it known?
expectation, the societal expectation is that you matriculate. Like you graduate from high school. Now you go to college. But for us,
Right,
our era, it was more so. All right, you graduate from high school, you go find yourself a good job. And the exception to the rule was the person who did go to college. So now the exception to the rule is kind of shifted to who you're not going to college kind of thing.
right.
And it's
What you gonna
it,
do with
it,
yourself?
it
Right,
go
right,
it kind of goes back to what you were saying, because you were saying like for us high school was about teaching people how to become workers, right? So they know that the bar was set back then at high school. All right, you got to graduate from high school and then you go into the workforce. The only thing that's kind of changed is that now they've increased the standard to, okay, before you go into the workforce, now you got to go to college because it's still about becoming a worker, right? you know
yes, sir. It's a whole different ball game about knowing what money is, and money has changed with Bitcoin and all this digital infrastructure happening. I think it's important to know financial literacy in its entirety now because so much has changed. The way the transaction of money has changed. Shit, I'm learning still about money at this point. You know what I'm saying?
they
How to invest and what to invest in. What's a good investment versus a bad investment.
they better be
Um,
careful, man. You know why they better be careful? Because they're gonna mess around and teach these kids about a lot of stuff about money, and before you know it, people are gonna be like, "Wait a minute, why I'm taking out that student loan again?"
right. But you know what? On a positive note, there are a lot of kids that they took the bull by the horns during the pandemic and made their way of learning about finances just by taking risks.
Oh,
You know,
they let them kids led the way. Pre pandemic, they were far more entrepreneurial than folks
hmm
our age. Because folks our age, we become conditioned. Like some of us, we're like content. Like I got a 9 to 5. I make good money,
right,
comfortable.
right,
But they've always been very progressive and forward thinking around being how do I be an entrepreneur? I don't want to get up at 7 in the morning to go to work, or I don't want to have to answer to anybody. I want to work from home. So nah,
right.
they definitely on it when it comes to that. I do think though, like the financial literacy piece is, I do believe that it's extremely important. But again, I want to know like what triggered Florida
What triggered
to
that?
move with it and make them mandate this, because I'm guessing the guy, I'm telling you, it has to be something as it relates to that maybe there's a whole bunch of defaults on loans from financial institutions
Yeah,
in Florida.
yeah,
It just has to
yeah.
be something that made them say we have to look at this.
Yeah, and I think that's the part of it, the loan aspect of it, how many people default, just the way people manage their money, man, the way they spend, how they spend, what they spend it on, just the value of it, man. People don't put nothing away for a rainy day. You know what I mean? They hear a certain number, like, oh, I'm gonna get that, and they just go bonkers. They already spend it before they have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, yo, it's just funny though. Like when to mention Ron DeSantis, that dude with anything that's good to me is bizarre. I'm like, yo, everything that dude say is crazy.
Yeah,
But
he's crazy.
he's the dude that that's pushing hard against critical race theory. Like, yo, we don't want no critical.
He saying do that ban the word gay too, right?
Yeah, don't say gay.
Florida is sick right now, man.
Yeah, yo, you can't. Don't no. You
Don't
can't.
use the word gay around here. So what happens now? You gonna get arrested?
I don't know. I guess you know what his backwards thinking. But he's on to something. I'm telling you, that state they must have defaulted on so many bank loans and stuff like that them financial institutions is having a fit and demanding like, yo, somebody got to do something. Yo,
Right.
on the same topic though, and talking about like this curriculum, We were talking last week, and I thought about this when we were talking about like self-sustainability, and I
Mhm.
was wondering, have we, I guess, from your opinion, have we put too much responsibility on society in helping to raise our youth, or have we put too little accountability on them? And I mention this because we've had these discussions before where we talk about how people sometimes say that music and movie and celebrities and all these other people are huge influences and children and impact how children are raised or how youth are raised. So what do you think? Like, is there too much? Are we putting too much on society, or we're not holding society accountable for helping us to raise youth?
Well, you can't. Society is a cop out.
I agree.
I think society is a cop out as far as raising children, even with social media. Like, you know, I was always told to be an individual, be independent, be original. Don't be like the person next to you. You know what I mean? Don't follow the crowd. When it comes to things like social media, I mean, you got kids, but just society in general, which is pretty much social media because nobody goes outside. So when you talk about society, society is social media now. Nothing happens outside. Everything happens on your phone and on your devices and what you pay attention to.
Hmm.
But if you allow society to govern the narrative of where your children go, that has to do with a little bit of parenting in a sense. You can't just allow a child at a young age to make its own decision. There has to be some sort of guidance there to, put some training wheels on. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they can ride straight. Make sure, you know, they know the rules of the rules of the land, the rules of the road. Be respectful. Be careful who you talk to. All of the basic things that you need to know while you're out in the world. Because there are predators out there, there are all sorts of nuances out there that you get yourself caught up in. And you don't want to fall victim to any prey, any predator that may be looking for a sucker for the day. You know what I mean? Nah, because they're out there, man. And just to think about like social media in this regard, um, you got kids very young being influenced by what they see. I mean, I was a step parent to a young girl who I bought her an iPad at a very young age. But the moment I bought her an iPad, her mother automatically put the parental guidance on there, like zip. You won't be on YouTube. You just be on this educational. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad she did that because it stirred her in a positive direction. And she's an honor student now, man, because anytime she's on her phone or any other device, it's always about education. She's reading books online. She has her own Kindle account. And she shares with me, yo, Mr. Rob, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, such and such. I said, wow, that iPad went to a positive use. Now, on the other hand, you know, kids are using these devices and being influenced by what society is doing at an alarming rate. And I don't know if you've seen the last. I hate this. I hate the fact that they put this stuff on social media where these young people they off they self. Think a little girl and her little cousin was in a bathroom.
Something, right?
Yeah, yo. I mean, so take social media out the way and think social. How in the world does a 13 and 12-year-old, however old they are, able to play with a gun in the bathroom with the door closed, and they're in there just playing around in the mirror? Now kids do all sorts of shit, and then all of a sudden you hear the shit go off, and you be like, "What's that?" Automatically, the parent got to be like, "Where's my gun?"
Mm,
That means that child had access to it. The child watched where you put it. They got the combination of lock. You slept. Something happened,
yeah,
and then they got their hands on it, and then they're in the mirror with the phone on live, and here we got a disaster going on. How does that happen? You
yeah,
know how that happens? Because When we give kids the devices or give a kid an opportunity, a little bit of freedom, we don't follow up. We don't check. There's no check and balance. What are you doing today? What did you accomplish today? Who are you with? You know, I love the fact that even to this day, Nell still check, yo, who you with? Who's that? You know what I'm saying? And they're grown kids. But it's important. Even my mother would do it. And I'm a grown ass man. Who's that over there? You know what I'm saying? It's your question. And I'd be like, yo, ma, all right, I'm over 40 now. But it's still the parental feeling of just being secure and knowing that your child is not running off the deep end doing something they ain't supposed to do. I don't blame society. Now society is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not blame society for any raising of a child. Now, if you leave society up to raising your child, well, then you get whatever the
Gave up.
results are.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know what you were saying, and I do think that society it becomes an excuse, almost like a cop out. Like we use
Easy
society
cop out.
to blame for a lot of everything that goes wrong. People are like, yeah,
Easy
society.
cop out.
You know, so I agree. I think that in terms of accountability, like, all right, so I look at it like this. If we saying society, are we also referencing in terms of like there's an expectation for government to provide some sort of programming, meaning like how summer youth exists? Is there some expectation that parks in a community are clean and there's a safe environment and stuff like that? You know, I could see
That
society.
was that was Corey. That was Corey's point.
I
You
could,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Put some of youth back out there,
I
yo.
could see society having some involvement in that regard, but I
Right.
don't see society having responsibility when it comes to, you know, what your kid watch, what your kid listens to, where your kid goes, and stuff like that. And like we were saying last week, sadly, I think it always comes down to, you know, like we're looking for somebody to blame, and the easiest thing to blame is society because you know why? Society, if we begin to attempt to define it, it's this entity almost like unknowing, like, you know, there's no specific finger the point to
The
blame,
point.
right?
Right. It's a blanket blame. Right.
All right, let's just chalk it up to society. Boy, I tell you this, society had a lot of stuff blamed on them. Whoever society society got a lot of stuff blamed on them because it's
That's a
easy,
fact.
you know. So people like, oh, it's society's fault. But the reality of it is like we need to fine tune and really look closely at like, all right, who carries the responsibility as it relates to some of these things. And if we're gonna say that society and then look at society in the context of whatever local government is, local government has a responsibility to the kids in the community to make sure that there is a clean park, make sure that there's an after school program, make sure that there's a summer job or whatever it is. To me, that's fair. But I don't think that to say society is, society is responsible for policing what my kid watch on TV or
No.
what my kid sees on the internet or what my
Right.
kid listens to or whatever. Like that solely falls on that's my responsibility as a parent.
Right. And that's what I mean. Society has changed. Society is not where your child goes because your child doesn't go anywhere. Your child goes to their phone. They go to their device.
Mm-hmm.
That's society to them. What they see on their devices. Now, when they go to the movies, yes, but even if they go to the mall, even if they go outside of their house, their reality is still in the palm of their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Overload. I mean, there's so much information that you can have information overload, and you have so much access to information, the shit gives you a headache at some point. You gotta put the damn device down. Um, but there are effects to that. Like I know kids that have their phones on all day. They don't get enough sleep, and they complain while they tired.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or they don't go outside. My point. They don't get no physical activity. So you don't sleep, and you're not going outside giving no physical activity. You got poor cognition and response, uh, connectivity with people. You know what I'm saying? You're not in the position to acclimate a conversation with someone and kind of feel what that person is saying. When you're texting all the time or you're scrolling over time, you have no focus. Your attention span is about zip. You can't sit and wait for a response. None of that. That comes from home.
Yeah.
That comes from home. Before you send your kid out anywhere, how are you structured in your home? And today, most parents, I won't say most parents, that's not even right. There
A lot.
are parents who will give a device to their child, and that becomes their society. That becomes their world. Because
Mm.
kids don't go out no more. Kids don't have no activity unless there's a parent that will take their son to basketball practice, football practice, track, and they're there to administer that type of atmosphere. But
So is the you think so? You think that parents that do that, they're doing that with the expectation of the device taking care.
yeah, yo, I hate to say it, man. I've watched parents sit their children in front of an iPad, and then that's it.
Yeah.
To where now I've seen 2 and 3 year olds so inquisitive they know how to scroll. Why? Because they watch their parents scroll. They know how to type in and find Blues Clues or whatever the cartoon is. They know exactly how to do it. So now here's a 3 year old, now 6. No, they know how to go to YouTube. Them niggas know how to go to websites. By the
Mm-hmm.
time they're 13, they become masters at the device now.
13,
Now you can
probably 8, probably
now
8.
yeah, now you can't even get them out the door. I'm not going nowhere. Who goes outside? So kids say that who goes outside? Nobody goes outside. Who's outside?
Wow.
You know what I mean? But
Coco
then,
Melon. I actually hear parents say Coco Melon is their child babysitter.
yo,
Damn.
shout out to Poochie. You right, son. They hear that music. It's like the ice cream. It's like Mr. Stolfy coming up the block, son.
Yo, so
Kids
how
go
I guess
crazy for that cocoa melon, yo.
so how so then if that's the case, how do we switch? How do we get parents to shift and begin to take responsibility or have accountability for actually helping to raise their kids? And when we say
Just
raise,
that.
not in the context of just raising like, providing sitter service, but raise in terms of, instilling morals and values and things like that in them.
So you have to instill it into the child, or have to at least administer to the child that look, this is just a device. It's a larger world that you need to pay attention to. Step out. Take them to the museum. Take them to the park. Take them somewhere that you've been, that you've learned from, and then you can share that
Information.
environment with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to do it. I would love, my sister is living in Virginia. All right. But I've always seen myself taking my niece to go see the Yankees. Now, that's just me because I know the atmosphere of a ballpark. We can eat hot dogs, we can eat pretzels, there's crowd, there's noise, there's interaction, there's people. It takes a child totally away from the device.
Mm-hmm.
Leave all that stuff home. Do things like that. Step out your comfort zone and show the child the world. Or the child is gonna learn it on the goddamn phone and be like, nah, I can go to Jamaica right now. Watch this. Google Jamaica.
It's the gift and the curse. It's the gift and the curse.
It's
Speaking
the
of
gift
that,
and the curse.
speaking of that, social media. We're talking about in our group chat this whole thing around social media. And I'm wondering from your perspective, do you believe that social media has led to distortion in terms of success and relationships? And the reason why I say this is because when you
Man.
go online on Instagram, yo, Rob, on Instagram, everything online is about somebody that's a boss. Everything online has these lofty requirements for people in relationships and all this stuff. And my concern with it is that it may be actually contributing to depression for people because people have these expectations around this stuff, and it removes them away from things that once upon a time people thought were really great. We were talking last week, and remember last week I was saying that back in the days, people would get a job at the post office and retire and be like, yo, I got
Hmm.
a great job, I'm happy. Now you
Hmm.
clowned for getting a job at the post office because it's not consistent with the imagery that they see on IG. It's just
And that's it.
like,
I'm glad you used the word image because some people compare themselves with an unrealistic image and get dissatisfied by their self appearance and their self perception. So they're measuring themselves by what they see. And the first thing that happens is image. Remember, man, Food and drink ain't the only things you consume.
Mm-hmm.
Images are the first thing you consume. Way before you read a book and decide to comprehend what it is that you're reading, then you have a mental picture of what you're reading. But when you're scrolling and you got these images, people don't realize how fast the body absorbs information just with the physical eye. So you see something, see a girl online, you see a guy online, she looks good, he looks good, he looks prowess. See somebody flashing money, you start to see yourself. I don't have that, I want that. How can I get that? I want to be just like that. You totally remove yourself away from yourself, and now you're worrying about the outside world. And I think we talked about this a lot of time, and I always use the word imagination. That comes from you. You have to be sole controller of yourself, not what's on the device, not what's on outside of you. You should never compare yourself to anyone else. You should compare yourself to who you were yesterday versus today and moving forward in the future.
Yeah,
It distorts a lot of people. Yo, son, you talk about depression. I mean, people repost fights. People repost killing. Like I said, the picture, the video of them two young people
mm-hmm.
offing themselves. That shouldn't be passed around on social media.
Mm-hmm.
That distorts. You know what I'm saying? That distorts your whole vision. Not only that, some people sleep with their devices. You
Mm-hmm.
don't get no rest. You it's crazy, bro. It's
Think,
really, really
think
crazy. And the
about,
heaviest platforms that are used are like IG,
mm-hmm.
Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook.
Yeah.
You
Yo,
know what I'm
think
saying?
about
People
though.
are
Think
stuck
about
on them
before
things,
though.
man. Huh?
Think about before though, like the things that people were really impressed with and satisfied with, and it really goes back to look what Poochie said. It's like if you're not a scammer or a plastic surgery patient, you're considered whack. So imagine
That's a
you're
fact.
a woman and you have to see all this imagery online of women that that they surgically enhanced, and you're comparing yourself to that, or you're somebody who you have a job that you're happy at and you feel successful, or you believe that you were successful until you got online, and then you got
Right.
online and now your success is no longer deemed to be successful. What's up, E? How you doing, bro?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Ain't
What's
nothing.
good? What's going on, good brother?
How you doing?
I'm
Yo,
good, man.
we talk. Here's the conversation we have, and we talking about has social media distorted real life expectations regarding success and relationships? Because everybody on social media is a boss. Everybody's relationship is the world's
Superstar.
best. Everybody is rich, and this is what what we're up against now. This imagery that we have to look at on a regular basis. So, what's your thoughts on that?
It's a perfect example. It's a great question because at the end of the day, and like I just heard the brother speaking about how a lot of negative information or negative actions is always recorded and always thrown out there in social media and all that because negativity sells all day
It's
Mm-hmm.
long.
so.
But also with social media, everybody, like you said, everybody's rich, everybody got everything, but they're not showing the sides of when this phone go off and I gotta go back and play with my kids, or I got bills I need to
Yeah.
worry about, I gotta sign checks and stuff like that. That's not being shown.
Mm-hmm.
But they want
Right.
to see. But you taking a picture when you in the club and you popping 5 bottles and 6 bottles, but then you going home and you checking your pockets again. You wondering, damn, why I did that? Why I did that?
Now I can't pay my phone bill.
Now I gotta go home and ask my wife to lend me some money until the next paycheck so I can clear the bills.
Right. And that's troubling. That's troubling that you carry an image of yourself or you portraying an image of yourself that ain't real, man.
And the and
That
the
ain't
problem
real. It's
and the shaky part about that is, like you said, the mentality that people have, and it's scary. You know why it's scary? Because it's not about the person who's doing it, because that's just that person. It's the person that's checking the likes, checking that next person's story, and really believing in the fact that
right.
that's their life. That's all their life they have, not the downside of life. Like how your life is always up. Like I always say, and Shannon would tell you, like with the clothing company success, we use the V. We use the V because everybody's success varies. Everybody's success is different. So how
That's
you
right.
gonna tell me that my success is not success because it's not your vision?
Right.
I'm happy that like I got out the hood, I got a house, I got kids that's going to school, and I ain't gotta work. They go outside, they ain't gotta worry about them being
Talk about
shot
it,
at
bro.
or all this certain stuff that's going on. I'm
Talk
happy.
about it.
I'm content. I
Yo,
can go
Talk
back
about
out
it.
there.
E,
Don't get me
you
like
made
anybody else. I go back out there and go crazy, but why should I?
yo
I'm content.
you made a really good point though, because it goes back to that. Like, people have lost sight of what actually constituted success for them, right? And I was saying last week too, I was like, yo, some people view success maybe other people's flaw. You get what I'm saying? So to me,
Yeah.
success is relative. Like, success could be, you said you got a house. Success for some people could be like, you know what? I got my first apartment. I got my
Exactly.
first car. I got whatever it is. But social media won't allow people to be to feel some sense of being happy or content, because the imagery that you look at on social media is not consistent with what you have going on in your life. So you like, yo, I was really happy because I got my first apartment, but now I look and I see Rick Ross got this mansion and all that. And then what's not shown on social media a lot of times is the process, is the glow up. People just see,
Right.
you only see the good part of it. You don't see, like you said, people getting up and hustling, doing their 9 to 5 or whatever it is, because it's not glamorous. It's just not glamorous.
I've never seen nobody on social media clean their fucking bathroom. Not once.
Not at all. Never. You never seen
Clean
them
the
walk
fucking
into
toilets or nothing.
you never seen them walk into work.
You know what I'm saying? Or dealing with a difficult customer.
Yeah, like how you not going at the end of the day, okay, I'm able, like you said, a person is able to go out and do certain things, but you should show what it took to do that, what it took to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
just like you said, with social media and anything with this media, let's just take these 3 pictures. I got blurry pictures, right? Y'all pictures is fine. All I gotta do is run and go get some filters, and then now I'm just like y'all.
Yes.
Right. Totally, and that's the distortion. That's the distortion right there, because images can play a whole lot of different roles, man. A picture has 1,000 words, so you gotta be careful how you disseminate information, man. And it can lead you. I mean, social media can lead the mood swings. I know people that's so distracted from social media, they miss their doctor's appointment. They forget to eat. Some
Yo,
motherfuckers forget to bathe.
but hold up. I'm gonna do you one better. What about people that were happy in their relationships until they looked on social media, right? So they were happy in their relationships doing whatever it was with their significant other. And then they looked
You
and they
post
said,
pictures, right?
wait a minute, wait a minute. Me and my significant other is working together to do whatever it is, but on social media, they saying that, yo, you shouldn't be going half on certain things. Or people went or looking and they saying, wait a minute, our relationship worked, but now I'm looking and, how you call it, my niece boyfriend, he got a Bentley. How come you got a Hyundai? Or, you see what I'm saying? Like, I think social
Right.
media has also impacted relationships and put these expectations in relationships also that just may not necessarily be accurate representations of what a good relationship is. Lip Poppy 163 says social media killed real relationships. That's a fact.
That's a fact, son.
And it's
Relationships,
just
marriages.
And it's just like you said, right? So they saying you look on social, you and your wife, y'all doing great. Like you said, y'all got nice cars, y'all doing fine. Then they look on social media and see, oh, homeboy just bought his wife a Bentley. Okay, that's that part. But they didn't understand. They don't see the 10 years that wife been holding him down when he was
Mm-hmm.
doing
Right.
bad or doing all other type of stuff. Probably get locked up, came home. She sent packets every month. You getting on that bus to go visit. They ain't show none of that. They
Yeah.
didn't
That's
show
right.
none of that. You just see
That's
the
right.
end result, and you expect to turn around, look at your husband laying on the bed, and be like, "Well, why I don't have that?"
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. That's
Some
an
people
absolute fact.
if you're basing your relationship off of social media, you're a sap sucker. But sadly, a lot of people do base their relationship off of social media.
People just got a bad habit of looking at what other people have and look at themselves and say, I don't have that. I
Mm-hmm.
had someone close to me look at what I had and say, yo, you lucky. I envy you. You got this, that, and the third. And I'm looking at him like, yo, bro,
You
I
don't know
need a
what went
kid.
into this.
Hold on. I told him, I said, bro, I need a kidney. You can have this fucking house. Give me your fucking kidney. Pardon my language.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your kidney, bro. You can keep the car, dog, all the windows. I'm trying to survive. And that's when I know, I was like, wow, is material success that important to people where they're not valuing life?
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. I'm trying to live an extra day, doing dialysis for 4 years. I'm trying to get off of that. I'm praying for a kidney, and
Mm-hmm.
you envy me because my square footage.
Yeah.
Now, not putting nothing bad on my house, but lightning can strike this house, and then I'm out. I got to
That's just
start all over again,
that's just
whether I
like
have insurance or not.
that's just like and I pray for you. That's just like saying the richest man in the world ain't gonna die tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Or the richest man in the world don't got problems too.
Money,
And
money,
all you do, every last one of them do.
every last, and they be the first one putting the gun in their mouth.
Yep.
Thank you.
With all the money in
Exactly.
the world, first one putting the gun in their mouth. But they got
Because
all
we,
the money in the world. You feel like they ain't got no problems, my man. At the end of the day, people don't realize money don't make you change. You change yourself because of whatever you feel like changing in your head, on your mind.
right.
I have seen bums looking more happy than I felt that day.
Singing to themselves, not worried or caring the world, but
Yeah.
they in their own zone. And that's
Radical,
mental, man.
Radical Notion said materialism is what's wrong with the world in general. Social media just highlights that. That's true.
That's true, son. Everyone thinks material success is success. Now, the fact that you got up and you breathing is a success, bro. I can kiss my wife in the morning and say, babe, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is important. You know what I mean? Our value system is turned into it's pretty much shit at this point because we don't look at it. We don't value one another. We don't value conversation. We don't value camaraderie. We don't value reciprocity. Yo, bro, you need just a phone call can help somebody get a person off the ledge. I value that. My friend Poochie called me today, with some bad news, but I valued the call because it came from her. So when I picked up the phone, I ain't just say, yo, why is she calling me? I'm like, yeah, that's Pooch. What's up?
Yeah.
That's my girl from third grade. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those things matter, man. And the fact that I've been friends with her since the third grade, I value that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We've known each other since we were babies, and here we are, damn near grandparents. Come on, son. That's the value system people miss, man.
And that's funny because, like you said, was it today or yesterday? I was doing my walk, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and and I want y'all to listeners to pay this real carefully. I was doing my walk, and I said good morning to someone. I said good
Mm-hmm.
morning, how you doing? And he said
Right.
good morning, how you doing? But we never answered each other's question. So was we really listening to each other, or was this
Right. Or you
something,
just
Yeah.
or was it
repeating.
something that you just supposed to say when you see somebody? Because did you
Right.
really answer my question, or did I
Right.
really answer your question? I just said good morning, how you doing? You said good morning, how you doing? Wasn't it supposed to be I'm finding you? But we just saying
A
it because
formality.
that's what we supposed to say.
Yeah, it's a formality. Lip Poppy 163. I brought you on because you said we're partially responsible for
We
material
are.
success. So go ahead,
Talk
explain.
about it,
We
bro.
are. Because you think about it, and let's think about this logically. 90% of us came from nothing. Our parents ain't have shit. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us was welfare babies, me
Mm-hmm.
included. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
included.
Eric know me over 30 years,
Exactly.
so he know. You know what I'm saying? Now we came to a point to where we grew up idolizing material success.
That's a
We
fact.
idolize the drug dealers. We idolize the rappers. Then what
That's a
happened?
fact.
We grew up and we started having children. So you know what we did? We started blessing our kids with everything that we were
We
never
could give
given.
it. Yeah.
So
That's true.
we came to appreciate the things that we couldn't have, and then we
And gave it to our children.
appreciation from our kids
Right.
Mm.
because now they have no appreciation for anything we do for them. You know, back in the day, it was a blessing to walk around with a pair of J's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's all. Those are the only shoes your kids ask for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
They
that's
don't
true.
want to wear nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But in all honesty, we are partially responsible for everything that is going on. We, the things we thought made us weak, the things that we thought made us less likable are the things that made us who we are. And we
Mm.
definitely did not set our kids up for that type of ordeal.
Yeah, nah,
Right.
I agree with you because I think definitely what you're saying is true. Like the resilience that we had growing up came from, just with a lot of our circumstances were. And I think that your mindset is always to in a position where you're like, I want better for my kids than what I had. But I think the part that we lost, and I was just saying this to somebody the other day, the part that we lost is that even with giving better to your kids. Like there were little nuggets and jewels and gems that my parents instilled in me. Like, I had a younger brother. So I had to get my younger brother from school, or I had to do whatever the chore was, whatever it was. And those
Mm.
were things that they instilled in me to teach me responsibility. Rather than me embracing it and saying like, yo, these are things that was given to me to teach me responsibility, I became, you become resentful of it. Like, damn, I don't want to do this or do that or whatever. So when our kids are young, we say, yo, I remember what it was like for me to have to do this. I don't want them to have to worry about it and lose sight of the lesson that was actually involved with those kind of things. And I think that that's why a lot of, like you said, a lot of our kids, they get the things that we weren't able to have. But what we need to figure out is how do we give them stuff that's going to set them up for future success? Because at the end of the day, giving them Jordans and stuff like that, like Jordans, that to me is that I find that to be relative because at Jordans may be a symbol of success in some people's mind, but Jordans are not really don't hold any value or anything like that. So
But then, not to cut you off, but then if that's the case, then 90% of the way that we move with our kids is incorrect. Because if you really think about it, think about how you grew up. You wasn't getting nothing unless you did your chores. You wasn't
yeah,
getting nothing unless
yeah,
you were on good grades. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't allowed to go outside without your siblings. You know
mm-hmm.
what
Right.
I'm saying? It was a whole different, even though our parents didn't have much, they raised us in a manner for us to be self-sufficient. And
Right.
that made us strong. Again, when as we grew older, we started looking at things differently because of what you experienced. So now you look back and you like, wait, like, maybe I don't want my kid to do that. Or I don't want to, I don't want my kid to do this.
Yep,
But to answer your question about how to totally change things for our kids, we need to start with the root of things. And at the end of the day, none of our children know like how to be financially liberated.
You
None of
know,
us
that's
take the
crazy you say
time.
that, but that was our first topic.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, where our parents fucked up at and we end up learning later on down the line is financial literacy. Like it's
yep,
just now that they're wanting to make this a curriculum in school when this should have been going on. They should have been showing people about credit, how to manage credit,
mm-hmm.
whether you should apply for a credit card or not, how you should, how to even go about getting a business license. These are things that we never took the time to do for our children. We spent so much
Right.
time doing what we did to get ourselves out of our holes that we stopped taking the time to instill specific things into our children. So
Yeah,
That's a fact.
without knowing, we crippled this whole generation. Because
yeah,
when I was growing up, our parents really didn't give a shit. So we worked for everything, whether you hustled the drug dealer for $1 here and there all day, because that's what we did. We used to hustle the drug dealers just to come up with money to go to Skate Key on Friday.
look at that.
You know
No
what I'm
doubt.
saying? And
Yo,
No doubt.
we were just saying
it's
early on
shit.
our first topic was we were talking about financial literacy because you see Florida's going to be passing that law where
Correct.
in order to graduate you have to be financially literate, like they're going
You
to
gotta
be
be financial literate.
taxes, credit, things like that. And I said that once upon a time, I don't know if you brothers remember, but we had home economics. We
I was
had
talking
home
about that the other day.
school. And home economics, though, my opinion on home economics, the reason why it went away is because home economics was talking about conversations like teenage pregnancy, sex, and stuff like that. And a lot of
Yeah,
people
veered
like, yo,
off.
I don't want you talking to my kids about that. And then home economics kindly, it went away. But I remember home economics, it was basically teaching people how to
Home
run a house, how
wood
to run a
Yep.
shop.
house.
They used to
Yep.
have wood shop. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? There were all types of shit in high school that we actually didn't take advantage of. Just like not for nothing. Schools push children to go to college. College ain't for every kid.
That's
They,
right.
they don't even take the time to speak to these kids about trade school.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And a lot of
Mhm.
kids are built for trade school. They built for trades. A lot of people, back in the day, even though, you heard everybody now and again, oh, yeah, you get a trade, you'll never go hungry. But nobody ever pushed that.
Mm.
You
That's
understand?
right.
And at the end of the day, having a trade is where it's at. You can go anywhere. Your trade travels with you. You
Yeah.
That's a fact.
and
Yo,
Right.
you know that, and I know that, but bringing it back to what we were saying about social media, and social media has put this image in people's mind that in order for you to be a boss, you got to be doing these other things. Yo, there are people on social media talking about they want to be a boss, but they can't even get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like they can't do basic things, but yet they still talking about they want to be a boss because they see everybody on social media talking about they want to be a boss. Poochie said, "Yeah, we had sex education, cooking class, so on, etc." They don't have that anymore. Yeah, that's because I believe that they actually probably took it out of schools.
Yeah, but guess what? With them taking out home ed and like you said, sex education, what happened? They
Teenage
they
night.
wasn't teaching that. So guess what? Me, Mike, and you, we was teaching a girl about sex education.
that's
And all
a
these
fact.
early pregnancies
That is
is what
a fact.
happened.
That is
It's
a
the
That's a
truth.
fact.
It is what
They'll
happened.
hold you.
That's a
That's
fact.
That's a
what
fact.
happened.
And a lot of women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to sew. They don't know how to keep. It's men
Simple.
included too. Because it
Yeah.
was for both of us to know how to cook and know how to keep a household, know how to keep things in order.
Change your
It
tire.
was there for that purpose. It was there for that purpose.
Simple shit like how to change a tire or
Mm-hmm.
how to change
Right.
on a car. Do an oil change.
Do an
Simple,
oil change. Yes, sir.
simple shit. And that's why I said a lot of what's going on now, we are definitely partially responsible for, whether we want to accept that responsibility or not.
Mm-hmm.
Our
But you know
generation
what?
got
All is
caught up in the hustle. We forgot
right.
about the values in the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Still
But
the
all is
value.
not lost. I don't think all is lost. I think if we take a step back, we can still implement some of these lessons to any child that wants to listen to those rules and those regulations that were set for us. You can still teach a kid how to sew. You can still teach your son how to change oil and change a tire. You teach your daughter how to change a tire. You can still implement these things that were lost. Some of these lost things just come from conversation. And that's a lost art too. The art of speaking to one another face to
Listen,
face without us having this. I know the four of us could go in a bar in a park or sit in a bench and have the same exact conversation we're having right now without this device. You
you
know what
Yo,
I'm
know why?
saying?
Because people are easy to say, you know what? I just text Mike, he good. I just
yeah.
text Shannon, he good.
Right,
But it ain't no
right.
full conversation. Just like, yo, how you good? Just checking in. Check-ins is cool, but at the end of the day, we gotta have a
I'm
real conversation because it takes time. Just like anybody else, when you're talking to somebody, if you let that person keep talking, he gonna give it all to you. It
yeah,
ain't
you
gonna
gonna
come in the
unload.
beginning. You gotta let that person talk. Let them keep talking. Come. And like I saying about the teaching, I was doing. I've been supervising kids for 23 years, and I tried to teach them everything that I knew, and
Mm-hmm.
what I didn't know, I try to invest and research what I didn't know.
I
It
Right.
I,
it
I
was hard because,
told
like
you,
you said, when you got kids raising kids,
it's a problem.
it's
It's
a
a
That's a
problem
bigger problem. That's a bigger
because
problem.
you know why? Because they raising each other.
Yo,
I'm
you see
Right.
what
like
Poochie said? Now they just teaching you how to turn $100 to $1,000. Then the next
that's
thing you
a fact.
your bank account is
Scam. It's scam.
crazy.
It's scam world, yo.
See, back in the day though, it was really on some each one teach one
Mm-hmm.
type of
Right.
mentality. You understand? And like as the years went on, and here goes the inception of the internet. Nobody saw the internet going this way. Like
That's a fact.
to keep it a stack. Nobody seen the internet going in the direction that it went. Cause when the internet was just coming out, like I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was a teenager, and then watching from where the inception of the internet to where we at now,
Yeah.
it changed everybody's perception of reality, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, there's a huge portion of the population that is drawn to what they believe is the life that they want, and a lot of people are really thinking that it's gonna come out of the thin blue sky. But that shit isn't gonna happen. Like I said, we got so caught up in the hustle to get us out of the situation that we was in that there were specific values that a lot of us did not instill in our children.
Mm.
We
That's a
have a
fact.
whole generation of entitled children. That's what this boils down to. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is that we're gonna keep it a stack. The tablets, cell phones, all that shit became the new mommy, daddy, nanny.
Oh, we just talked about that too.
Yeah, son. So
But
I hate to say it, but I know chicks that are just they'll put their kid in front of an iPad and walk away to the point where I've seen a 3-year-old know how to navigate,
Yes. Yes.
scroll through it, know where to find it, and sit there and be like, "Yeah, this is what I was looking for."
Mm-hmm.
You know how to do that shit.
Yep.
You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
what it's
People
been.
we fail to realize children follow. They listen second, they follow first.
They're
So they
sponges.
watching you scroll. They know how to use your thumb and all that. The same shit.
you know
You
what's
know what I'm
wild?
saying?
You know
At,
what's
at that
wild? You
at
know,
that age,
kind
they're
of
sponges. They sponge. They create a memory bank of everything that their parents is doing, and that's why they do it. Why you think they was playing house? Why they playing all these other games that
Right,
that's what they
right. Playing
do?
with
They're
dogs. There
sponges.
you go.
They're
There you
sponges.
go.
that's a fact. But but then when you start to like I'm a huge thinker of there's a lot of truth in a lot of movies, and to think about it, if when you really think about the movie and you think about the movie logically from beginning to end, the Disney movie Wall-E
Hmm.
totally shows us exactly what the fuck's going on.
Mm.
There's a whole race of humans on a spaceship doing nothing, relying on robots to do everything for them. We're not
See that?
off from that.
Oh yeah, everything gonna be automated soon.
We're not that far off from that.
Of
If you look
course.
at it, everything now is done on a device. Nobody's going to the check cashing spot to pay bills no more. You're doing it online. A lot of people not even going to the stores to go shopping no more. They do that online. A lot of people ain't even walking into the grocery store to go food shopping no more. They ordering everything online and they pulling up and having other people throw it into their car for them.
Hmm.
We've become a race of human beings that rely on easy shit.
Yeah.
We want everything done fast, and it changed the whole dynamic of the world. Like I
Yo,
said,
Become
whether
slaves.
we or
Become slaves to convenience, man.
correct,
Become total slaves to convenience, B.
correct.
with
Us thinking that we were bettering each other, we crippled the next generation, which is going to cripple the generation after them.
But
well,
here's
you
my
know what,
thing.
I think that the next generation has on us though, with like all this automation and all these things coming into play that we have to be mindful of because it looks very different than what we know. It's almost like we like you were saying about the trades and stuff like that. We've been conditioned to think in terms of trades and college and all these things, but the younger generation, I was saying earlier, pre-pandemic, they were entrepreneurs and hustlers more than some of the older folks because they always on the grind. They always thinking about how to make money. I think we have to be receptive as older folks to kind of step back and let them show us the way and be open to how they
I
go
I,
about doing it because there's
I
look,
agree with that.
they
I
figuring
do.
out how to make money. They figuring out how to make money in their sleep.
Cut.
They figuring out how they don't ever have to leave their house. How they don't ever have to get out of the bed. Like they're kids.
They've
They're
mastered
they're
the way of working from home.
there are kids right now that are more inclined to take a job not based on pay, but based on the perks. Meaning, our thought process may have been a 9 to 5 and 40 hours. Their thought process may be, well, if I finish all these 40 hours of work in 2 days, do I need to come in the rest of the week kind of stuff? And I don't know if the world of the workforce is evolving at that rate because people our age are still at the forefront of making those type of decisions. But that's where they're at, and it requires a level of openness from us to be able to actually understand that and move with it, because that's the direction that all this stuff is going in. You think about before, a lot of people's first job was McDonald's, right? But now you go into McDonald's,
It's a kiosk.
McDonald's by me is a kiosk, and they recently underwent another renovation where they're going to add even more kiosks. So all those jobs and things, those opportunities are going to be obsolete. And I think kids are looking at that and saying, like, okay, I got to figure out another way to get into the workforce and make money if I don't go that quote unquote traditional route.
But and that is true. That is true. But when you look at the curriculum in school right now, right? Like, don't get me wrong. The internet made hustling easier. The
That's
internet
true.
made starting a business easier. They
Easier. Yes, sir.
a lot of things easier, but with the convenience that the internet gave you, there was a downfall behind that. So now we have a change in mentality. So where now kids look at an honest job as not being it, not
Yep.
Right.
understanding that,
Back to the basics.
right, not understanding that, you might not be making as much money as you want to be making, but you're not understanding the value in the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? At the end of the day, whether they realize this or understand this or not, having a job teaches you how to be responsible.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to
Yes,
be up
sir.
at a certain time. You have to be out the house at a certain time. You have to be at the job at a certain time. You
Gotta
will
be punctual.
to do a specific job. You have to do your job and you have to be professional and
Mm-hmm.
while you're doing your job. They don't see that anymore. The internet now glamorizes everything that we no longer glamorize, but we glamorize ourselves at one point in time. History repeats itself. The only difference now is that it's out in the open because the internet shows you what's going on everywhere. Now you're not only looking at what's going on in your block, on your borough, or in your city. Now you're looking at what these dudes is doing in Chicago, what they doing in St. Louis, what they doing
Right.
in Miami, what they doing in Cali. You're looking at what everybody's doing now, and now you're looking at everything you doing, and it seems like it's not it. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of these young kids don't understand that the struggle and the process of the struggle is what develops character.
Of course. Of course. That's a fact. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's like we created all these things for convenience, and at the same time we kind of like we made shit more difficult. You know,
Yeah.
But let me tell you what convenience is easily to brew laziness.
that's a
It
fact.
it'll make you very complacent. Because I tell you this, right? The internet, all these devices are plugged into something. What happens if it go down?
So now that brings up another thing. I don't know if y'all ever watched it. It's an old ass documentary. It's on Netflix. It's called The Great Hack. Okay.
Hmm.
I've never seen it.
The
Yeah.
whole purpose of the Great Hack was to make everyone aware of the fact that they've already developed systems that develop algorithms that will already predict what you're going to do before you even do it. So with
Before
that
you even
being
do it.
said,
Hmm?
how many times have you been having a conversation about buying a car, and then all of a sudden you
In your feed.
social media, and now all of a sudden you looking on your feed, here goes
Yeah, my phone.
here goes Rovers.
My,
Here goes
yo,
Mercedes.
yo.
Here goes BMW. Here goes this. They've already built this algorithm. They already have a whole 30-point breakdown of everybody that's been on the internet, and they know what you're going to buy before you buy it.
Salute,
Yo,
Kareem
son, my
T. What's
phone,
up,
my
bro?
phone be eavesdrop. My phone be eavesdropping on me. I can talk about anything. I look up my phone like, how the fuck my phone?
Yo,
And
No, I was
Rob.
talking about a
Stop that.
port.
Yo,
and
Rob. But how you call it when your mom or your grandmom said the TV was listening? You thought they was bugging, right?
that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. I used to think that my grandmother was tripping, and now that I'm a grandfather, bro, I look at this shit and I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
really was not tripping. Like that's where we at right now. They
Yeah.
everything. They know everything. What you're gonna do, where you're going. They know whether you're deciding to do something with your family or not. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, we freely provided them with that information.
Information. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
And so at the end of the
You're absolutely right.
thing that we don't like, we created a platform for them to go ahead and gather that information. You know what
That's a fact.
again,
Hmm.
we are partially responsible for
Yeah.
everything that
That's gonna
Because it's
convenience is
like
always gonna sell though. So we're gonna always be up against that. Convenience is always gonna sell. They're always gonna figure out a way to make things easier and cost effective. That's gonna that's gonna be the enemy of how you call it of work ethic for a long time. People always gonna try to figure out a way to do something easier.
that is a fact. I mean, at the end of the day, the hustling is what kept this world moving. I mean, when you think back to prohibition, you know what I'm saying? Bootleg
Bootlegging.
kept the mob in, but it kept the
Hmm?
mob moving. They was getting
Hmm.
money. You understand? And what happened when the government didn't like what they was doing and saw they wasn't getting their cut?
Legalize and tax it.
Exactly. And then they turned around and they hit your man Capone with tax evasion because they couldn't hit him with nothing else.
Yeah.
You know
So
what
why
I mean?
you think? So why you think all these states is now legalizing
Legalize
weed?
marijuana.
But I
Yeah.
said, see, but
Same thing.
20 years ago, at the end of the day, if you really think about this logically and you put everything aside, if they would have taken a note from Amsterdam back in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
we would have been balanced everything out in this country. Because I remember when, when I was a teen and I had just started smoking, drinking, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever. Amsterdam was like, yo, like we tired of all the crime and everything that's going on. Look, boom, we got the red light district. Y'all can do whatever y'all want till 11 p.m. Everything is legal besides rape and murder.
Mm.
You can get high, you can get drunk, you can even buy yourself a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be out in the open. We not gonna fuck with y'all. Y'all do what y'all do, but we got a curfew. 11 o'clock is shut down. It's a dub at 11. Everybody inside.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have taken time to see what they were doing, how they were taking the tax money from drug sales and prostitution and putting it into their own communities, we would have been fixed a lot of the issues that we have. California, first state to legalize marijuana, first state to be completely debt free from the United States. They don't owe the government a fucking dime. Now,
Yeah.
here goes Colorado. Colorado came in and said, hold my fucking beer. They took all their tax money. They made all these new development, all these new homes, all these new schools, all these new roads, created all these new jobs, and now they have a booming economy.
Yeah. We got to figure out though how people of color actually get opportunities to get licensed to be distributors. That's the one part of it that I need to see them do better with, because there's plenty of people in jail locked up
Still for a
Now,
blunt.
illegal distribution. Yeah.
yeah,
So
but now you got to give it up to California because California is the first state to start releasing motherfuckers for marijuana charges. You know
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
need
A
to.
lot of dudes who were doing real time for weight, they now coming home because they like, look, we making money off of this, off of the same thing that these dudes was doing. We
Yep.
just gonna go ahead, we gonna let them go. Now, other states need to follow that ideology, and B, if we're looking for a way to make things easier for people of color to have more of a chance in that industry, this is going to take us as a community to start pushing these young kids to actually go to school. You understand?
And learn business, like you find the financial literacy part.
Yeah, it's not only the financial literacy part, but it's actually, getting these kids to get into botany. You know what I'm saying? Getting the
Yeah, getting the plan.
and so it's not
Wow.
we us as a community. Everybody needs to come together and put shit aside and be like, you know what? Let's do what's best for the community. Because I don't know about y'all, but he knows we grew up in the same building. Back when I was growing up, if your neighbor seen you did some wild shit, they brought you to your parents.
Yeah.
It was okay.
That's a fact.
Now we're at this era where nobody can tell nobody else about their own kids. On top of the fact that the system doesn't even let you discipline your kids. You used to be able to beat your kids now, not beat your kids to death or put your kids in the hospital. But how many of them beat and saved you from doing some dumb shit?
No,
You know,
I just spoke about a
Yeah.
mentor, unfortunately, that passed away, and he was one of the greatest mentors I had. But he lit into my ass at an early age, and he gave me the prerequisite of think before you act,
that's a
and
fact.
that should save my life. Trust me, man. And I was probably in the third, fourth grade when I got that lesson.
Yo, we go ahead, E.
And what happened was, I'm gonna break it down. So what happened is, and we're gonna go back to like he said with Amsterdam. What happened is the United States didn't want to do that. You know why? Because crime equals jail.
That is correct.
Jail equals money.
That is
Hmm?
correct.
That's
That
it.
that
It's a
industry was
pipeline.
the highest industry in the highest industry in the world at that time. So the
It
United
is.
States is not
It
going to do
it's
that.
it is the highest grossing industry
Mm-hmm.
in the
They're
world.
not going to do that.
Farm.
So
It's
then we're going to turn around to the mentorship. And I think I spoke to Shannon about this before. when the federal prosecutor decided to jump into New York City, and they did the major sweeps, if you realize they took all the older men.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's when
and left the young dudes to fend for themselves with no morals and
with
no
no guidance.
respect.
Yeah.
So
No
that's where
guidance.
the gun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was just like the crabs in the
Bro.
barrel. That's where the gunplay started because they didn't know no better. It was just like, I'm taking over. But when we was young, I couldn't hustle until I get out of school after 3 o'clock. Ask Mike, I hustled, but I had to wait till I get out 3 o'clock. When they see me outside before 3 o'clock, they was whipping my ass.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So when they took all the older men out of the street, there was nobody to raise the younger youth, and there was no men to be with these women to help them with these young youth. And this is why the world is the way it is at this moment.
That's a fact. OGs, man. They took away the OGs, man.
There was no OGs.
And that
hold on, Mike.
That whole
you got an OG. You got somebody calling an OG who's 20 years old.
It's taken out of context now, because let me tell you something, and this is me keeping it real. So I'm gonna bring something up that E don't even remember. I remember back in the days when I first started hustling and I started getting money and I started buying myself my own shoes, because I grew up very poor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He caught me outside, and I laugh about this shit from time to time when I think about it. He caught me outside walking mad weird because I didn't want to crease my J's. I did not want to crease my J's. So he pulled me to the side.
No creases.
You walking mad weird, bro. I know the shoes is new, but look, if you do this, that, and the third, you don't have to worry about creasing them. Bro, to this day, I still do that shit. Hey, I ain't even gonna hold you.
You done conditioned yourself, huh?
In all actuality, OGs back in the day versus what they consider OGs now are two entirely different things. Because back in the day, even the drug dealers didn't want you hustling. You know what I'm saying? They would actually pay you.
Talk about that. Talk about that. And that's
You know,
it's funny you brought that up, because that's what kept me out. That's what kept me off the street. OG said, "Yo, I don't need you on the corner." He actually bought me a ball and told me get to the fucking park. Yo.
And that was the whole.
That's a fact,
bro. I mean, there were plenty of times where the older niggas were doing what they do, and if they knew that there was anything going on, they'd be quick to tell us, "Yo, take your ass back to the block or go inside the building."
Yeah.
And we would, you know what I'm saying? And even though we didn't like it, we didn't question it. And to be honest with you, a lot of the times that they forced us to go somewhere else saved us from a lot of shit. Where we grew up at is fucked up now, but it was even more fucked up, back in the day. And it's like,
you know what the difference of OGs is, though? The difference now is that OGs is dudes could be 30 and their OG is 18.
Exactly.
It's not about wisdom now. It's about what people got in their pocket. So
exactly. Like I'm calling him my big homie, and he's 17 years old. Why? Because now he got the big chain on. He got a car. So he's my big homie.
Big bro.
Huh?
Now you big
my
bro.
Man, I got a kid older than you.
Now you big bro. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. But again, this goes back to what I was saying. We raised our kids different, man. We thought that we were doing the best thing in the world by giving our children everything that we didn't have. And in the process of doing that, we stopped instilling specific values that we developed and we learned as we were growing up. You understand? So now we have, like I said, we have two generations of individuals that they're not self-sufficient.
Entitlement.
Extremely entitled. Extremely entitled. Because listen, my first car, and this was in the 90s, my first car was an 84 Ford Focus hatchback, and second gear was stripped. I ain't even gonna hold you. You understand?
Word.
That was my first car. Now these kids expecting you to hop out with Benzes and Beamers. Nah, bro, there's levels to this shit. Like,
right, son. You about to get this Honda Accord for $1,500
with the stains on the seat, and then you're gonna have to work your way up. You know what I mean? To the vehicle you want, but you
That's a fact.
Mercedes Benz off rip. Like you,
I'll meet you halfway, but I ain't getting you nothing. I'll meet you halfway. I'm not buying you nothing.
There you
you know what
go.
I'm saying?
yeah.
And like I said, that's what it is. Like we need to get back to that each one teach one mentality. The minute we
I
get
agree.
to that, everything should progressively start getting better because we go back to that saying it takes a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to get back to. The village arrangement of, it takes more than one person to raise a child, man. It
Mm-hmm.
takes a group. It's a group effort, group
Now,
economics. All of that plays a part, man.
now that's another subject because now you have a whole generation of women with this I don't need a nigga for shit mentality. You understand? Or women who use their children as pawns and for financial gain. That's what you see now. I mean, look at just yesterday with China talking all this shit, talking about she a single parent. The whole time both her baby daddies have the kids 6 days a week. You need child support.
What do you need? You need to support yourself.
That's like at the end. Oh, I got to get rid of 3 cars. Most people don't own 1 car. They're still making payments on it. You know what I'm saying? And
That's a fact.
you got to get
That's the
rid
truth.
of. I'm a
That is the truth.
you wow. Listen, the if you look at the way everything has progressively, they've changed everything. They've cut fathers out the home. They've tried to
They've been doing that.
they
They've been cutting fathers out the home.
you understand? And then on top of it, whether anybody wants to believe this shit or not, this push for the Skittles Avengers to be making moves the way they moving, it's crazy to me.
Said the Skittle event.
Because you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm all with the whole love is love thing, but when I was growing up, people's sexual preferences was kept to themselves.
That's a fact.
You understand? Now you
That's
knew
a fact.
who was gay and you knew who was straight, but everybody kept their sexual preferences to themselves. Now we sitting here pushing this agenda on children, talking about, well, they should know. That you're talking about a 6-year-old kid that doesn't know the difference, the value of $1 versus the value of $10, but you expect this child to know the difference on whether they're attracted to the opposite sex or attracted to the same sex.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunately,
everything live. It's all been a system that was already, and they put one to the
Stop. If you
and
don't
to
talk.
do it, everybody was segregated all over from being cool with one another to like no cool no more. You understand? Shit not so cool with everybody no more. It's a whole fucking weird world out here. It's nothing but weird fucking vibes. You know what I'm saying? And the rich getting richer. That's all it is. This shit is a system. Until we figure out how to demolish the system and start that shit up again from the ground up, we all gonna remain products of the system, and our children are gonna remain products of
we have to learn to control our own narrative, man, and stop allowing society, social media, and other outside entities to control a narrative for us. You know what it is that you have to do to take care of yourself. You got to instill it in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Self-savior is the first law for you. Then you administer that to your children, and then you have a conversation about it, about doing it. But outside of that, people are so used to allowing someone else to create their own narrative that it's easy to follow. You know what I mean? And that's what social media allows you to do. It allows you to follow and like the things that you see, and because you see someone else doing, oh, I can do that too. But is that what you really want to do?
And that see, and what we like I said, what we need to get back to is this village thing because if you really look at it, not for nothing, the Skittles Avengers they work together, bro. How you think? How you think they make everything move? They move as a unit. They don't move separate. They don't
They
say
don't move separately.
Hispanics only, blacks only, whites only. No, they move as one unit.
Unit. That's a
I mean,
fact.
we
And
talked we
so
talked
until
about that
we
before,
start
though.
moving as one unit and we keep moving segregated in pieces, this, that, and the third, things are going to remain this way. And the other thing that I think is totally wrong, whether anybody understands this or not, people get to a point to where they learn about whatever it is that they do, whether it's selling stocks or it's flipping shoes. Instead of taking the time out to
The
educate
shit.
underprivileged people from being able to make those types of moves, they keep all that information to themselves. That's also stagnating the movement.
Yo, I was gonna say though, I think that because you, in terms of like the agenda, like people of color, I don't know if we got a clear agenda on what it is that we trying to achieve. So that's one of the reasons I think that we're held back. As far as like what you're saying, I think with the information too is like that's something that's been ingrained in people since slavery. You know, it's a crabs in a barrel mentality where everybody think that we all out chasing the same dollar. You know, like there's money to be made for everybody in the stock market or from flipping shoes or whatever it is, but everybody always feels like they're in direct competition
But
with
it's
somebody.
education, and it's the lack of information that prevents people from making the moves. Like crypto, when this Bitcoin shit came out, a lot of people didn't know about it. A lot of people didn't invest in that shit. Bro, I had a chance to buy in 20K. That 20K would have had me at 15 million right now.
Mm, yeah.
But because I didn't and I didn't have the information, that opportunity passed. You understand?
Or let me tell you this about the information also. Like we're so distrusting of each other that if somebody is giving you the information, sometimes depending on who it's coming from, you question their motives as to why they're sharing the information.
See, but that also too, like you said, it's the part of the crabs in the barrel, but it's also the scared. I'm scared of my own skin, and me saying scared of my own skin. You scared to tell your brother about what you're doing, but then you'll go run to somebody you don't even know, the white man, because you think he got your
And
best interests at heart, but
give him everything, sir.
he's skinning you alive, but he's doing it with a smile. Like I always said, if you come to get mine, smack me and take mine. Don't go in my house when my door's locked. Take mine. Then I understand it. But they so stuck on thinking that the next man gonna take it from them. Like we just spoke about it earlier. All the money in the world ain't gonna save you from death.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Just like
It ain't gonna save you. So if I could get a little bit and give a little bit, that's how it's supposed to go. And guess what? If you spend a little money, you're gonna get a little bit more money back.
That's a fact.
The one thing that hustling teaches you is that it takes money to.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, this is the name of the game. It doesn't matter what business or industry it is. It takes money to make
money.
Now,
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say these words, right? With about 80 or 90% of what we're talking about, if people take out this keyword and this feeling out of everything, I guarantee we'd be a better people. Emotion. If people stop being so emotional about everything that happens, they put their emotions into it. Oh, you can't say nothing about me, about my kid. Oh, you can't say this, or my clothes. Everybody's emotional about everything. Stop being so emotional because somebody said something to you about something. Listen to what they're saying and take it. If you don't even, at the end of the day, like I tell people, even if you don't like what I said, guess what? You can't turn your ears off anyway.
Listen, we fucked up. We fucked up with that emotional shit when we started handing out participation trophies. Because keep it at that. At the end of the day, there's two people in this world. You got winners and you got losers. Not everybody's going to be a winner, just like not everybody's going to be a boss. People need to come to terms with this. You understand? When we started giving out participation trophies, like, yeah, you didn't win, but you know what? You played. You deserve a trophy. We fucking moved that shit forward.
Yo, so according to social media, everybody's a boss though.
That be you got now. Now we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it a stack on social media. A lot of capping on, so because a lot of dudes really
Hell yeah.
A lot of these
We
dudes,
talked about that. You don't see the hard work. You don't see the process. You don't see the turmoil that people go through. You don't see the loss. A lot of people go through a lot of losses. All you see is the wins and the gains. You don't see the lessons learned.
you don't
see the unfiltered.
Right. The perseverance you got to go through and the resilience you got to go through to keep your head above water.
Nobody glamorizes the struggle no more.
Right.
Struggle is
Yeah.
not glamorized no more. Not understanding that the struggle is what made motherfuckers who they are. Even some of the artists that they idolize. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we go back to the music industry to our day, you have motherfuckers like Wu-Tang who were selling their CDs out the trunk of their fucking car for $10.
Mm-hmm.
And what that did, they created one of the best rap groups ever in
It
history.
create it created a work ethic that all of them have
You know what I'm
to
saying?
this day. Yes, sir.
The struggle is not glamorized no more. Nobody glamour. Everybody wants to go from the bottom to the top, but
Yep.
nobody wants to speak about the struggle in the middle. You know what I'm
So
saying?
maybe that's what we have to administer to our younger people. Having a work ethic. Nothing worth having is something worth working for. You can't have anything. It's nothing worth. You have to work for something if
Mm-hmm.
it's worth having it. You know what I'm saying? You have to put some work. You got to put some equity, some sweat equity in it, so you can appreciate why you're working hard. So when the reward comes, you say, you know what? I bust my ass for this.
That's a fact.
And
That's
then you make ownership to it because now I worked for it. I made it. I'm owning this. I'm not going to allow nobody to take it from me. And if I decide to give it to someone, I'm going to give it to them with the same premise that, look, you worked for this. I'm not just giving it to you. You're going to have to work for it. You know what I'm saying? And if you work for it, I'll hand it over. You know
it.
what I mean?
But you know what's the other thing that this generation lacks, and I don't know if we got anything to do with this or the internet or whatever. When I was growing up, and even now as an adult, the same respect that I give to the CEO is the same respect I give to the janitor.
That's a
That's
fact.
a fact.
You understand? Because even though the CEO owns the company, that's his joint. He paying for everybody, but everybody that pulls up in their joint works their ass off.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be making anywhere near as much money as a CEO, but they wake up every day with the tenacity to go into work and do
Mm-hmm.
what they have to do to pay their bills and put food on the table.
That's what's up, man. That's what you call equality, man. You deal with everyone on the same equal
That's
player level, man.
It's not like that no more. It's like, bro, like you broke, I can't fuck with you. But
That's because what we said about social media. You don't see the janitor on social media flexing, and everything online is about somebody being a boss. I don't know how people think that they're gonna be a boss when they don't have the simple soft skills that it requires to even be an employee. Like we had summer youth back in our days. Summer youth,
that
you
shit,
made a couple of dollars,
yo,
and it taught you the importance of like, yo, you got to get up and be on time to work. You got
$325 every
to pass.
and that shit was it. You'd buy your school clothes with that shit, and you lay your school clothes out with your shoes on the opposite side of the bed because you bought them shit and you was about to get the first day of school
The
killing,
whole,
It's
that's
gonna get
right.
fresh.
killing.
That's right.
You pull up in your Guess jeans, your Hirachi, and whatever you was gonna be rocking. But
I
trust me,
love it.
first day of school was fashion week. That whole first week was fashion week. Motherfuckers broke out all they summer clothes for that first week of school.
Yo,
But
I'm gonna
that's just
tell you
like
when I,
y'all was saying about being a boss and a janitor. Problem with people is everybody talking about they can be a boss, but you don't even know how to be a boss. How can
you
you be a
can't
boss
even
if you
you
don't
ain't
know
even
how to
a
work?
leader in your own life.
You
Yeah,
can't.
how can you be a
You're not
boss?
even a
You don't even
boss
know how
in
to,
your. You're not
you
a
don't know how
boss
to
in your own
communicate.
house. You're not a boss of your house.
No,
You're not the boss of your house.
you're
You're not
not
the
the
boss
boss
of your.
of
Because you
nothing.
know what? In the day, I tell people sometimes you're not even the boss of yourself. Because at
Mm-hmm.
any given time, the next man can take your
That part.
life.
That part right there, bro.
Listen,
That part right there. You
a
don't even know how
lot.
to conduct yourself, let alone conduct a team or anybody else. You don't even know how to manage yourself.
We lost. We lost key ideologies.
And
Well,
the part about
And
being a boss is right.
you know what I'm
People, like
saying?
you said, the CEO of a company is a great CEO. You praise him. You say, I'm glad he's the CEO. But guess what? Without them dudes coming in doing that 9 to 5 or that 5 to 12, ain't
he
no
ain't no
company.
CEO.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Right.
CEO. Ain't no company.
Ain't
That's
And
no
guess what? I
company, son.
guarantee you, 90% of CEOs now can't even do the work of that janitor.
That's
humility.
a
Don't know
fact.
how to do it.
Humility. People, we have we have a generation of people that don't know how to be humble. Everybody want to stun on them. Everybody Everybody want to fake it till they make it. Nobody want to be humble. You understand? Nobody
Sense of entitlement, man.
to live a normal life. And this does go back to what you were speaking about. regarding the internet. The internet made it too easy for motherfuckers to idolize lifestyles that a lot of people, in no actuality,
Not attainable.
living.
Yeah.
A lot of these motherfuckers that claim to be bosses not even good in their own hood. They can't go home. They can't visit.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right. Real
There's no
talk.
humility. There's
That's
no
real right.
humility. None at all. And then there's lack of respect. You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't have to respect a person because of whatever work they put in the street, but respect the person that wakes up every day and goes to work and provides for his family. You understand? Respect the person that does everything that needs to be done to make sure that they can pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Respect the person that does everything to the best of their abilities. Yeah, they not driving a Range Rover, they driving a Honda. Regardless to what though, that Honda start up just like the Range Rover.
Mm-hmm.
That shit get them from point A to point B, just like the Range Rover.
Yo,
These motherfuckers that throw themselves into debt for a fucking Mercedes Benz that got 130,000 miles on it, versus getting a brand new
and the
Honda
note is
Accord.
notice 800 a month. Yo, social media made jobs that are great jobs like FedEx, UPS, MTA, how you call it,
Post
postal
office.
service,
You know,
sanitation
and
worker, great
then
jobs,
this is
and
what a
made people
truck,
become the
bro. This
solution.
country does not move without truck drivers, bro. Even that job isn't idolized. Not even understanding that without truck drive, if the truck drivers, if every truck driver in the United States went on strike,
Products come move. Not one product will get to you.
we wouldn't be able to think. We wouldn't get no food. We wouldn't get no toiletries. We wouldn't get no clothes, no shoes, none of the shit we buy for our home. None of that.
That's right.
The working class person is no longer idolized. Now everybody wants to idolize these fake CEOs and these fake bosses that wear these fake chains and drive these rented vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple as that. This is the world that we're in right now. Everybody, let me not say everybody, because that's a blanket statement. There's a large majority of the population that is faking until they make it,
Mm-hmm.
instead of taking the steps that they need to take for them to actually make it.
Right. It's the process.
Because a lot
Respect
of
the process, man.
when you watch a lot of these videos of these dudes that now own record companies and this, that, and the third, and you listen to some of the shit that they went through, you like, bro, why you're just now speaking about this? Why you're not putting out more videos, more content about your struggle? Teach these kids about all the sleepless nights. You know what I'm saying? That it took for you to get to where you at. Talk to them about all them floors that you slept on when you had nowhere to go. Talk to them about that. Let's not talk about the money and the women. Let's talk about the struggle. Let's talk about everything that you experienced to get you to where you are, so that these kids understand that they're just not going to wake up one day, drop some
Be
content,
on top of the world.
they're going to become famous.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. You understand? Everything and anything that is worth anything in this,
You have to work for.
you're
You
going to
gotta work
work.
for it. I
Y'all,
think my man Buddha's in there, man. He's a coach, man. I would love to have him
Go ahead.
chime in because
I'll drop
I
out.
would love.
all right.
I go, bro. Yo, I thank you, bro, for your opinion, your love,
Word.
and your wisdom, man. For
Not a
real.
problem, bro. I appreciate y'all having me on.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Let's
Big
get it.
homie Buddha, if you still there, man, I want you to chime in, man. I see you a coach. You coaching a lot of teams out here at championships, man. I would like to know from your opinion if you're still there, and he can chime in. What is it that you do to get to these young guys, man, to make them work hard and become successful at basketball? And I'm sure it's not just basketball when you
Like,
work with these young men. Did he chime in?
what's his name? I'll send him an invite.
Buddha.
Buddha.
You see Buddha on there?
Buddha
Nah,
1027.
Yeah, 1027.
he's not on.
All right.
Well,
He probably chimed in and out.
yeah,
He's a coach, man. He's been coaching for a while, and I know he deal with young brothers all the time. And knowing him, he got a voice on him, man. He'll get in your ass if you ain't flying right, son. Trust me, I play ball with him, man. He's a vocal dude, but he's an honest dude, and he pulls his weight, and he don't shortcut for nobody, son. Word.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy though. It's for real. You see people, big homie, Yo, I
Yo,
got
son.
you as a big homie.
Ain't some young dude, son, who can't even tie his fucking shoes and put a belt on right.
But it's true. It's true. You see it all the time. Yo,
Because it's just,
The
but
aunt.
it's just the simple things. Not even saying like the big homie part, right? It's the simple things of you. When we grew up, you earned a nickname. Someone gave you a nickname. These days, or whatever I put on my social media, that's my name. I can type whatever I want. That's what you got to call me now. Huh? Why? Because you said so?
Why? Right? Why?
Because you
Why
said
am I
so?
calling you
Okay.
that?
Nah, it's not happening.
That's a fact. You earned your name with if you came from the hood you grew up in. You earned it, man. Whether it was a funny name or it meant something, you earned it, P.
yo. So the last topic we had before we end, we was gonna talk about Joe Biden. E, do you think Joe Biden's presidency so far has been underwhelming for people of color?
Take a deep breath, bro. Take a deep breath, bro.
To be honest with you, I feel like Joe Biden was going to tell us what we wanted to hear.
Right. That's my point. That was my point.
He going to tell us what we wanted to hear. He going to do the bare minimum to keep him out the hot seat. And he gone. He ain't coming back. He know he not getting the number 4. So he going to ride this out to the best of his ability and move on.
Yo,
Because to be honest with you, when he pulled the race card when he brought the black woman in with him, he knew he was good once he did that. Because we gonna run with it. We're gonna be the closest to another black president we gonna get. Or now we got a black female vice president.
And see, to your point, homie, that's the power image.
That's what it
That
was.
alone. That's the
But
power image.
but
You show that.
if people would have went and did their research and see who he was bringing in,
There you go.
they would
yo,
have changed their mind.
yo, but Trump was so disliked, pretty much almost anybody could have probably got elected.
But I'll go back to this point. You knew who Trump was.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
It's making me a believer of that even more. He's a snake. You knew he was a snake.
I will dance with the devil any day because I know what the devil is.
I know what's across the ring. I know what I got to do now.
And then he's telling you what he's going to do.
But you
Biden,
didn't.
on the other hand, is a sheep in wolf's clothing. He gave the promise of healthcare, justice reform, voters' rights, climate change, and ain't do none of that.
Yo,
And he'll
but you know
probably
something?
blame it on the pandemic.
You know something? Yo, I'm gonna say this though. Actually, you did know who Biden was because Biden's been a career politician. So he been on record with his
Well,
policies
that's true too.
for
If
years.
you did the
You knew who he
research, you're
was.
right.
But it was again, it's such polarizing. Like yo, people couldn't stand Donald Trump so much. You could have probably put Kermit the Frog against him, and Kermit the Frog would have got.
Would have won. We'd have been in here. We'd been in here liking Miss Piggy right now,
Yo,
son.
to me, I think that what he's what a year and some change into his presidency, and I
Yeah.
just like yo, the biggest disappointment to me is probably the stuff that hasn't been done around the student loan forgiveness. You know that, and I think also that George Floyd bill stuff are things that I expected that he would at least be able to come through on. Now, at one
Criminal
point,
justice reform.
at one point, he was saying that it's not possible for them to forgive all them student loans. But if you look at how money is being spent during the pandemic and money going to Ukraine,
Bro, he
it's just
sent
like,
350
that's not
million to
viable.
Ukraine, son.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's not a viable excuse at this point.
Before Russia even threw us a fucking pebble, he
I'm
threw
gonna tell you.
350 million. Come on, son.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what the issue. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is that the average American has no understanding how foreign policy works.
Works.
But the average American is gonna go to, yo, you just giving money to these people when you could be giving the money here. So I don't know why he wouldn't try to do something internally for U.S. folks that was more of a grander scale before he did that. Because the justification for doing that now, he gonna have to answer to why you able to fund the war in Ukraine and Russia, but you aren't able to make these promises that
Yeah, he wanted Democrats to vote. He he made promises he couldn't keep. He told Democrats, "I'm gonna give you the heaven and the earth," and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit,
I
and then
mean
he wants everyone.
He came in when the pandemic was already underway, and every politician
And
go
it
across
turned and
the
it
world.
turned straight to that. It went straight to that. And I get it. We had to make sure everyone was safe. You had to make, you had to keep everyone safe, keep everyone healthy. That was priority because a lot of lives were lost. And he may have a little wiggle room to make some things happen, but it's not looking like he's focusing on any of his promises, any of them.
Does
He's
anybody in the chat? Does anybody think that Joe Biden is doing a good job? Anybody in the chat? Yes. You think he's doing a good job? No, he's doing horrible.
thumbs up. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing if people think that he's doing a good job. The other thing I think that he's up against also, a lot of the changes that Donald Trump made by way of executive orders. So Donald Trump was able to just sign executive orders to do all these things. And then we seen when Joe Biden got into office, he just signed executive orders reversing all of the things that Donald Trump did. It's just always disheartening when you see like that the Democrats have the Senate basically, and he still
They got
can't
the Senate,
get his
they
people
got the
own
House, they got the
party,
White House, they got everything.
own party to vote for the policies that he put in place. So Janelle said, nah, he's not. She gave him a thumbs down. Anybody else? What do you think? What's your thought process? How's he doing?
People are bailing out. They don't want to answer.
Like, yeah, that should tell you what people think of him.
You should know, right? He's out of here. It might have been the question not to ask. Man, listen, man. Democrats and Republicans, I always say that they're two wings of the same bird, two fangs of the same snake. At least with Republicans, you know what you're getting. That is for sure. Them conservatives, you know what you're getting, and you know what you're not getting. But with Democrats, it's always a promise. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And the moment you get in office, it's some other shit. You go to Clinton, you go to Obama, you go back to Carter.
That's because I think that also what happens is that conservatives don't rely on people of color's vote as much, so they don't have to make promises.
But not for nothing. Republicans believe you do the work. You do the work. You work for yourself. You earn your keep. You do the work, yo.
Conservatives is like, we know the African American vote is probably gonna vote for us at a clip of 5%. So ain't nothing we can say to win them over.
Right. And ain't much of them gonna fuck with us, right?
Yeah, so it's like for them, it's like, we might as well just keep it real. They know how to rally their base. They know how to rally their base. No, I'm saying people don't want to answer that question because they probably feel, they feel Biden is watching. Cut another check, and then people will feel better about it.
Right. Send another stimulus. The numbers will go up in this month, yo.
He sent the stimulus. He just sent it to the wrong people.
350 billion, yo. Huh? Where did that money come? I mean, I know he printed, but Jesus,
You said
a lot of bread.
You said where did it come from? Wait till come time for people to get their income tax refunds.
Oh my God, man. Printing money like it's Kinko's over here.
So hopefully we could get to a point where he could actually do something or deliver on some of these promises. But in any event, I believe that he's going to be a one-term president anyway. So
yeah, I think so. I mean, his ratings are dropping. I mean, there were a lot of states that did the voters registration. They got a lot of people to vote that didn't vote. Georgia being one of those biggest states that went from red to blue, from blood to crip. You know what I'm saying? And them people they're out there focused on. What up, Bates?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
How you living, good brother?
We good, man. Everything good with y'all?
Yes, sir. Everything
I
is great,
noticed
man.
once y'all asked that political question, everybody bailed out, man.
The numbers left, right? Like, nah, we ain't answering that.
Nah, bro.
They watching, son. I need my money.
Yeah, like I said, they need another stimulus or something, man. Yo, you know the problem is, man? That political thing is more see how everybody was acting with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
How they wanted him out of here so bad. And I remember when Biden became president, I was at work, they was making all the noise in the world.
Right.
All that noise stopped, bro.
It's quiet. Ain't it quiet?
Very quiet.
You don't hear nothing.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too political or whatever, but like everybody kicking themselves in the ass for what I see. because
But you
they
know
was
something?
All you gotta do is
They
be
weren't
honest. If
cheering
you
for
see
Biden.
it, yeah, shot,
They weren't cheering for Biden. They were just cheering that Trump was out. So
leave.
now that the dust is settled, and now you actually like, yo, the dust is settled, and now I got to deal with this. But you know what the good thing that came from this? I think as a result of the stuff with Trump, I will say Trump has made a lot of people a lot more politically informed because now people are doing more research around this stuff and really looking at things a lot closer. Never
right.
before have we had an election of this magnitude that garnered this much attention. So
Attention. That's
hopefully
a fact.
people continue to stay politically informed and look at
Yeah,
these things closely. So when the next election cycle roll around, people can vote their interest, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. At least they'll be like, all right, I know I wanted Trump out because let's be real, that was just the objective, get Trump out of
yeah,
office. Now,
yeah. But
with
not to cut you off, but it seemed like once they got him out of office, a lot of people regret that now. So you know
And
what I
this,
mean?
this is my thing too. Stop allowing people to control your narrative. If
Right.
it's something that you want to happen, you have to make it happen. Because
Yeah.
you're allowing someone to make promises that, yo, can you do this? Can you do that? Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. Yeah, call me tomorrow. And you'll
Right.
be
Right.
still wait while in between that time, you could have made a phone call. You could have it could be the three of us got together, put money together, started something.
Right. That's
That's
a
what I
fact.
mean about controlling your narrative. You know what I mean? But if
I
you
agree.
if you're waiting for somebody to do something for you, then you be sitting at the bus stop all fucking day.
All day, you're gonna be waiting on that,
And the
man.
bus
So
ain't gonna come, son. son.
yo, as people of color, we participate in the political process. But do we honestly believe that politicians are going to have the ability to change our lives at that magnitude? I've never,
No,
I've never believed that. I've never believed that.
me neither, but
no.
some people do. I don't know why. But I never thought that way, but a lot of
And
people do.
the only reason why we participate is because our parents participated, our grandparents participated. I guarantee that's probably 95% why most of us are Democrats. We don't even know what the Democratic Party even started. Because it's really the Republican Party is what we need to be focused on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here, I'm not into it either, but to be honest with you.
Yo, but I want to tell y'all like everything y'all was talking about today. Y'all hit it on the nose, man. Talking about the materialistic things and like what Master was saying earlier, like how he needed a kidney. You know what I'm saying? I think
So
y'all gonna be honest, man. When
that
I'll
point
be
hit
honest.
home, Bates. That point hit home, and I'm not even gonna expose the brother because you and I both know this individual, but it just made me look at myself like, damn, son, like even if I champion at anything, you're watching what I have. You're
Mhm.
not watching the work I went through.
Right.
You're not watching, you know, any pain or distress I've been through.
Hmm.
You looking at the cherry on top, like, damn, that cake and that icing look good. Nigga, I had to buy the eggs. I had to
Right.
get the milk. You know what I'm saying?
All
I
that.
had to ask my neighbor for butter. It looked good. All of that, son.
All
Now
that.
that I have it, you're looking like, yo, you're lucky. I'm not lucky.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's no luck
Yeah.
involved,
So
man. It was prayer. It was support. It was people saying, yo, master, I got your back. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
All that played a part. So I had
Yeah.
to say, you know what, bro? If that's the case, I'll give you the house. Give me your kidney, son,
Facts. That's a
and
fact.
I'll get a house again.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yo, ain't nothing like your health, man. When you ain't got your health, you ain't got nothing, man.
You ain't
Mhm.
got nothing.
Yo, so like not to be on too sentimental, but we all grew up with each other and we all come from the trenches and or whatever. So,
Right.
when this was happening with Master, I cried, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I couldn't think about like, you know what I mean? Like losing the brother, like, yo, this shit was serious.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir. I appreciate you, man.
one thing I don't like is like, it has to take for things like that to happen to go on Instagram. Then everybody's like, oh, my man, Master needs a kidney. I don't,
Yeah.
I appreciate the support, but I don't think it should have to be like that for people to come together. You know
Thank
what
you,
I'm saying?
brother.
And that's one thing I don't like about the world. You know how, everybody's too divided.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just like now, this No ID podcast thing. I love it, right?
Appreciate you.
I don't think people are supporting it the way I don't think the podcast is where it should be because of the lack of support of our peers, and I hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it always takes for something to happen for people to be aware now. You know what I'm saying? When I found out Master got the kidney, I FaceTimed him.
It just showed up there, bro.
Yo, real talk, I started crying because yo, dude, like we all
I
been
love
through
you,
so
yo.
much shit, man. Like
we love each other.
Yeah, love all day. But what I'm trying to say is like, yo, dog, I know how it feels. People don't know what you go through when it comes with health and it. Like Shannon, like nobody knows what you're going through. You understand? Everybody looks at y'all like, oh, they got the house, they got this. Like, you got to understand, man, for y'all to have a house, you know where we came from?
Yeah, for sure.
So these brothers, so anybody that has a family and a home, yo, that's the upgrade from where we came from. They counted us out, man.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what, Norm? It's just an example for anybody to believe they can have it too.
That's a fact.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's not for me to gloat and show, yo, I'm live. Nah, son. If I got it and we came from the same spot, there's no reason why you can't have it the same way, bro.
that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That's why
I'm just an example. That's all I am, is an example.
Exactly. I look at it as motivation. So that's why every time I get a chance, I try to reach out to y'all and show y'all love, man, because like y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand how big this is with this no ID. You're like, they caught me by surprise when y'all first did it, but I loved it, man. And I see it evolving, but I'm serious, man. When it comes to the love, man, there's a lack of support out here, man. And I fucking hate it, bro. Yeah. I hate it. Now, you know, like no ID podcast. We got this person. And the guests started getting bigger and bigger. Now everybody want to pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I love Bates, yo. Bates you from the hip, baby.
But let me. You know what? My feeling around it is like, yo, everything that I've ever been involved with in life, like there are people that's gonna be in the trenches and go through it with me, you know, and reap the rewards at the end. And then there's other people that they not down for the process. There's some people that they like, yo, I'll see you when you get to the other side, or I'll attach myself to it when it gets to the other side. Like I don't mind the grind. Like I like the grind because
I love the process. The process is the best part.
Yeah, when you look back at where you came from, like yo, this when me and Rob doing started in my basement. Yo, just sit us cracking the mic and drink, and honestly having drinks and having conversation. To now, look at the people that we talk to. You know, people are looking like, oh, yo, I get people all the time like, yo, how'd you get this dude on? Oh, yo, you think you could get this dude to come on my platform and this, that, or whatever? And you know,
and that's the crazy thing. People think we got
hold on, not to cut y'all off though. You see what you just said, Shannon, how you said, yo, it started in my basement. People don't look at that. They're not looking at where the grind started from. And that's the point that I'm making. And you see how now y'all got the guests now. Oh, this is real. Yo, Shannon, yo, how can I get him? Now you want to know. And this is what I'm saying. That's why I'd rather people not like me for me being a realist. Everybody knows me. I show love. But let's keep it real, man. All of us built an empire with all the people we done grew up with. If we had the support that we all should have got, we would all built an empire.
We all be eating, son.
But everybody's so divided. It had to take for y'all two to be like, yo, let's put our heads together, let's do it. Because if y'all would have waited for somebody's approval, you would have never got it.
No, sir.
They would have been like, no, I don't think it's not a good idea. But now, we got this person. We got Smith and Wesson this week. We have legendary producer. Now everybody want to tune in. I get it. But bro, yo, support from the beginning. I did that shit from the beginning. Like, perfect example, let me just make one point. A year ago, I came out with a song with my man Frank Cook. Shout out to Frank Cook. It was called On the Sidewalk Part 2.
Yep.
Right.
Featuring Corey Guns and Coogee Rap. Right? Shout out to my hood, because my hood showed me love on Instagram or whatever. The first thing I got was, who the fuck is that nigga at the end, and why is he after Coogee Rap? Right? No problem. I done seen videos with people like, who is this nigga? Why is he here? You don't understand that Sidewalk is called Part 2, so that means there's a Part 1 with me and Frank Cook, right?
Right. Talk about it.
No, and this is what I'm saying, because there's a lack of support out here. So Sidewalk Part 1, we did a Sidewalk Part 2. They reached out. Shout out to Corey Guns. They reached out. He got on, and we got Coogee Rap through a friend of a friend, and Coogee Rap told me, yo, Bates, you fired.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow.
That's
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, people don't know that
yeah.
at the video shoot,
The
what Coogee
love
Rap
you
was
was
telling me,
getting. Right.
yo, Bates, you supposed to go last. I didn't go last to disrespect you.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yo, Bates, you should go last. But what I'm trying to say is like, they don't know me. There's people in the industry that said, yo, that last kid, I don't like him. You know why? Because they don't know me.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're like, who is he to go after Coogee Rap? Bro, I'm Norm Bates. Nice to meet you.
Right. Right.
Right? But then when
Yo,
you talk like that, but then I got people that's close to me like, yo, you
That
killed
was
that shit.
dope.
yeah.
That's right.
I never do things to be in competition with anybody.
Mm.
Shannon, you know, and the rapping back in the day with the embassy and everything.
Yeah.
I never ever in my life competed with anyone. I never changed my verse. I never said, "Oh, I'm a fuck him up." No, I never. I always said, "When you hear me, you're gonna remember him."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yo, you make a good point though, because
My boy,
I
bro.
try to like, especially like all the people that I grew up with, I try to support like whatever venture they got. Janelle is on here, not Nell's Rob wife, but Janelle. She got a podcast. We went to school together, so you know I try to tune into that. We had a friend that he started a sweatshirt company, so I made sure I bought a sweatshirt. I
right.
know when I don't know if you remember, you did a project, and I had messaged you. And I was like, yo, I want to buy your project, but I don't know if you remember what I asked you. I
Yes,
was
no,
like,
no, I remember.
yo, I
I
said,
totally remember.
which
And
one do you get the money from? Which one do you get more money from me purchasing through or whatever? Like, because I agree with you. I think it's important that, yo, we got to support each other.
yeah,
You have
and you
to,
did
dude.
that, and you messaged me, and you know, we was working on whatever. But that's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
why, like, I show love to everybody. I know ID podcast. What did I tell y'all? Send me a shirt. I need a shirt.
Yeah.
I got that shirt in the mail. I put it on. I gave my daughter my phone. Like, take the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Right.
not for clout. This is love over here. Now, if
Support,
everybody
man.
shows, if
It's
everybody shows that
inspiration.
type of love, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's
Everybody who's
inspiration.
separated.
Right.
They look at y'all two, Master. They look at Mr. Rob and Shannon. They want to compete against it. You're not going to win like that. Now everybody got a podcast now. I'm not, no, and don't get me wrong. I'm not downing anybody. Shout out to anybody doing what they do. Y'all
Yeah.
made people believers.
Yeah.
See that?
How
Yo,
many times, how many people you think looked at No ID podcast like the fuck out of here and whatever?
Yeah.
And then every week you hear the music and this who we interviewing. You like, oh, hold on, whoa. Now
Yo,
y'all paying attention? Come
yo,
on,
and Monday we got Granddaddy IU too.
What? Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Like,
Yeah. So,
you know
And you
what
know
I'm
what?
saying? Like,
And you know what? And you know what it is, Bates. It was nothing hard. It's nothing hard. What we do is we go on people's DM and just ask me, yo, you mind? Do you have an hour? Can we interview for an hour? And not for nothing, 99 to 95 to 99% of the people say yes. I got an hour for you, and that hour turned to an hour and a half,
right,
and
but
2
yo,
hours. Here we
Rob,
are now. I'm on here 2 hours.
you know what
right.
that
But that's love right there.
But you
Because
know what that come from though? That come from honestly from our reputation. Because people go back and watch the footage and see who we talking to. And
exactly.
they look and they want to stay like, yo, before I sign on to do this, I wanna actually see who I'm talking
Let me see what they about. And that's what I'm saying. Like, how many people done reached out to the same people? Y'all, they gonna look at them like, hell no, I'm not. No, y'all going on people reaching out to them. You know why? Because it's love. But second of all, they see what y'all doing. They believe in it.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You understand? And y'all not getting no scrubs, man. How many times I done seen, yo, how they get, oh, that I gotta tune into that.
Yeah.
They,
Nah,
we interviewing this one. I'm like, yo, that's love.
I had to. Sorry, I had to leave, but I haven't had to get back on. Show y'all reality. This is not Instagram. I gotta take out the garbage. Real stuff.
See,
I had to get
that's
my
the
kids a bag. I
process.
gotta take out the garbage.
That's the
Yeah.
process, bro. That's the process. People need to see that, son.
Nah, but yo, no, we had our catalog for us to still be considered fairly new. Like, yo, some of the people we've had conversations with over these last 2 years is like, yo, you know, how you call it? Like, you got to give us a little bit of credit. Like, even if you don't like the platform, you got to be saying like, yo, Hashanan and Rob pull these people to get these
That's
people
a
back
fact.
in.
That's a fact.
You know,
And
so,
I never looked at it like that. Every week I would look like, wow. And it's getting bigger, like, okay, oh, all right, they're not playing. And
you
that's
know
what I'm
what?
saying, man. Y'all making people believe it. It shouldn't be like that. You should get support from day one. Not when you start interviewing people that, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all interviewed a lot of people.
Well,
But you know what, too, Bates?
truthfully, where most of our support come from. Honestly, the people that we actually interview, like a lot of the people that we interview, hit us afterwards and be like, "Yo, I like what y'all doing. Yo, I want to support
Right.
you all. I'm gonna make sure I share the video." Like we got dudes like OC
Oh,
watching.
look at that. Come
He'll
on.
be back. Baby Paul, after we interviewed Paul, he was like, "Yo, I want to help y'all promote the podcast." A lot of people's PR people contact.
Right.
That's love, bro. But this is what I'm trying to say. Not to cut you off. I'm saying like they believe in that. They believe in it. And it shouldn't have to take people from the outside to believe in it, bro. You
But
know what I'm saying?
also, it's also the grassroots because not everybody is a celebrity.
Yeah,
There's people that's just everyday working people, entrepreneurs. We've interviewed farmers, we've interviewed elders, we've
Right.
interviewed police officers, we've interviewed every all walks of life, and that was really our mission. Let's start to highlight the people who don't get highlighted, who don't get
Right.
that opportunity for their little shine or whatever product that they selling, whatever it is. Like even when we did the listening party for Rice and Pat,
yeah,
Right.
that was big, yo.
yeah.
And then have everybody chime in and give a listen to what they're doing, whether it helped them or not. It was just a matter of, yo, son,
Show love.
just give somebody a lane to
Yeah.
do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That was it, bro. And
I
look at
think
where
that
we
was
at
love for y'all
today.
to even do that, man. That's a lot of love because
Yeah,
there's probably
absolutely, man.
there's people that seen them on No ID podcast, and then some people pay attention. Now they
Yeah,
want to see them. They didn't know them. Some
yeah.
people don't know them. You know what I'm saying?
We
Listen, long
working
story
on
short,
the
man.
we
Long
working.
story short, I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm real happy for y'all, man. I tell y'all that all the time, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yo, just continue to do that, man. You know, you got my support, man. Because this is big, man. I told y'all from day one I love what's going on, but it's gonna continue to evolve, man. But I just wish that
Absolutely.
people get the support they deserve. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, just show support, man, and everybody will be all right, man. It should have y'all made people believers. Now y'all interviewing people. Now people want to tune in. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, son.
That's
Like,
how
I'd rather you not like me for being a realist, man. I show love to everybody. But come on, man. I'm pretty sure when people see No ID podcast, they like, Sean and Bob, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
how these niggas get together.
Exactly. Instead of, because even with me, I didn't know. But what did I do? The first thing I did was show love. Like, oh, that's what y'all doing? All right.
Yeah,
I'm tuning in. Come on, man. People are too separated. People hate too much. The hate will never stop, and that's one thing is that the hate is just at an all-time high, bro. Like I
Yeah,
just told you about Sidewalk. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Y'all hating on me, but when the legend of Cool G Rap, I told Cool G Rap I never got to do a song ever again. I could run
Nope.
with that. Like I did a song with Cool G Rap,
Right.
yeah.
That's right. That's
right?
all that.
And Cool G
That's
Rap
right.
came to me like, "Yo, Bates, you fire." I said, "Wow." On some real groupie shit, like
You put the pin down, yo. I'm retiring on that note.
that's it.
Drop the
I'm
mic,
about to
son.
throw the mic down. Like, come on, son. But like, the problem is people want to hate. You know what I'm saying? And so that, like
Let
I
them
said,
hate,
even
yo.
people from
Let
the
them
hood
hate,
hate
B.
it, bro.
Let
People
them
like, oh,
hate,
I
yo.
don't want to hear Cool G Rap no more. Who the fuck told you that?
Let them hate, son. Let them
Because I'm
hate,
pretty
son.
sure if Cool G Rap called some of these niggas right now, like, I want to do a track. You want to jump on that?
Yo, you know what it
Nope.
is too, though. Externally, the people that support you externally, they don't see themselves as being in direct competition with you. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's easy. It's easier for some people who don't know you to be supportive. Like Baby Paul, he like, I'm not in direct competition with them. I like what they doing, so I'm gonna promote them.
Right.
Like, and some people sadly feel like they're in direct competition. For what reason? I don't know. Like for me, only thing me and Rob could do is just to continue to be focused. With the mission moving forward. Like Rob
Mm-hmm.
said, our motto is one dope conversation at a time. Whether we
That's
talking
it.
to a
I
celebrity,
like that.
whether we talking to a regular Joe Schmo, whether we talking amongst each other, whatever it is, just making sure that we have conversations and bring content to our platform. And I'm
That's
happy
it.
to say also that a lot of the stuff what we've done, the audience that we have, we got organically that people tune in and watch. We ain't on the internet beefing with nobody, trying to
Right.
find
We ain't throwing no
nobody.
dirt. We ain't talking about who
Yeah,
slept with who.
Right.
We ain't talking about who smacked who. We ain't doing none of that shit around here, son.
Just organic
That's
conversations,
it,
man.
man.
And no IDs give people a breath of fresh air, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
So when
Because
we,
y'all talk about real, just like today, y'all was hitting things on the nose, man. Things that people need to hear. This is real
Yeah.
stuff right here. Politics, health, materialistic things, and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
raising your
saying?
kids, social media, just learning to respect the process, man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You got to work hard for anything worth having is worth working for.
Yup.
Right. That is a
So,
major fact, my brother.
so
And
when we crack the mic, when we crack the mic, and people get to see MC Shan sitting on his porch, disciplining his kids,
facts,
or
facts.
or we
That
or
was
we
the point. That was funny right there.
yeah,
I watched that.
or we crack the mic and we listen to Pudgy the Fat Bastard tell us about how Think Big came together,
Wow.
or we listening to how you call it, Baby Paul talk us about how he got patted down and frisked when he went to do Destroy and Rebuild with Nas. Like, yo, these are stories
Wow.
that
I
help.
didn't.
Or even
Wow.
the dude that built B Perks, how he had to escape from the Congo because his family was in danger in Africa, just to come to America, become an exchange student, and he built an internet process. Those stories will
Come
go
on,
on in
man.
infamy. You know what I'm saying?
Come
Because, like
on.
I
That's
said,
endless.
it wasn't just the people that we know, it was also people of all walks of life that we had an opportunity to speak to so they can tell their story. Kixie
Right.
Jixie. There's so many people. What's his name? Mohabad, whatever his name was. You know what I'm saying?
Creator of
Who,
genius.
who created genius. I mean, these
Wow.
guys are just regular people of all walks of life.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
And they got a story to tell too.
Right. And
So
y'all
why
giving
not
them
give them
that
up?
platform, and that's what's important. Y'all giving these people these platforms, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
They can't. No ID is already a household name out
Yo,
here.
Tell
and
your story.
you could come on and you ain't got to worry about us digging into your gossip. The tea.
Right. You don't want
Right.
none of your dirt, son.
Yeah, son. It's like, that gets tiring after a while, man. I'm tired of hearing about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock and shit like that, man.
Nah.
There's important things going on out here, man. People out here
That's
Yo,
right.
losing their
yo,
lives. People, you know what I'm saying?
we strategically stayed away from that as a topic.
And I think that was smart. Y'all taking it back to the essence of real interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like when we grew up, it was interviews, man. Real interviews, Rap City and all that stuff. Like
Yeah, it
y'all
mean a
taking
lot.
it back to the essence, and I love it, man. Like, come on, man. Y'all ain't talking about no drama. Y'all look what you said, Pudgy the Fat Bastard. Like, who would ever think about? You know what I'm saying? But then these stories is like, oh shit,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because we come from that
they
era.
regular people like us, man.
What I'm saying.
They
That's what I'm.
regular
And then
people,
what y'all had,
son.
like one day y'all have Cuban Link on there,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the case may be. See, but you look at the difference. Cuban Link, right? Every time Cuban Link gets interviewed, what is he talking about?
They talked to him about Fat Joe.
That's all they talk about.
What was the first thing I said when we have Cuban League? Don't talk about Fat Joe, son.
Exactly my point, because I watched that. You see what I'm saying? And it's like they and I'm gonna be honest, like, because I don't get into none of that. But Cuban Link was supposed to be that guy,
Mm-hmm.
He
right?
still
There
he
was a
still is that
time.
guy.
Nah, that's my
No.
yo.
And I don't mean it like that with no disrespect. Shout out to Cuban Link. What I'm saying is like the Cuban Link from the Terror Squad,
Mm-hmm.
the
Right,
pretty boy Cuban nigga that was
right,
next to Pun, right?
right.
And I don't want to get too much into that, you know what I'm saying? Because, whatever. But Cuban Link was going to be that guy, man. The pretty boy that knows how to rap next to Pun.
That's
And
right. And was
so
nice.
what I'm
It
saying is
still
like
is
for the
nice.
last 20 years, when you see Cuban Link, they look at him like he's the miserable nigga now. Yo, stop talking about Fat Joe. So that's what I'm saying. When he got with Cha, it was a genuine fucking interview. Let's talk. And that's
Yeah.
why No ID's podcast is standing out from everything else. Because
Yeah.
when you interview Cuban Link, Cuban, how you doing? How you get started? So tell us about the incident with Fat Joe,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So
We
what
didn't
I'm
want
trying
to
to
know.
say is like, I don't get into that because I don't know them personally and I don't know what happened. But I'm saying if you slice a motherfucker, excuse my language, if you got sliced or whatever the case may be, yo, bro, you're gonna talk about that shit forever.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You understand? So like when they know when they ask him that question, he's like, you know what I'm saying?
But
Y'all
see,
didn't do
Vince,
that.
that's our motto. not to talk about people's personal business.
Right.
Talk about them. Ask them questions that people wouldn't normally ask them. How was it growing up as a kid? How do you
Right.
feel about parenting now that you're a parent? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
But you seen how he was when y'all interviewed him. It was a
Yeah.
genuine interview. You seen he had a smile on his face, talking about how he came from Cuba. He's talking.
All that, son.
We're
Yeah.
gonna talk real stuff now. Yo, how was it? What happened when you first started rapping when you came to the Bronx? Talking about it. Yo, when Pun, I met Pun. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna sit there and be like, yo, tell us about that incident. He got that shit on his face that he gotta wear for life.
Why
So
you
of
want
course it's
somebody
gonna
to
be
relive
emotional.
that? You don't want nobody to relive that shit, man.
Nah,
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people are saying Cuban Link is a bitter dude now. All he want to do is talk about Fat Joe. And I stay away from it, but it's like when he got on y'all podcast, y'all was talking regular. And the interview was long. He was talking. You look like a little kid again.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what
that's
I'm
just how
saying?
you call it. That's you know, it's my bro. I grew up with him. So,
Right.
you know,
But
when
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
You gave him that platform. Like, yo, come on in. Let's have a talk.
Yo, Elijah said before you get off, son, you gotta You gotta spit 16, my nigga. Huh? You gotta spit 16. Somebody
Okay,
want
you
that
know what?
16, son.
All right, hold on. You know what I'm gonna do? Since before I let y'all go, sorry talking holding y'all head, man, but it's a
Nah, you
pleasure.
good.
So since I got so much hate, I'm gonna spit my verse for Sidewalk Part 2.
Hit that
If
off,
that's all
son.
right with you.
Hit that off.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Rest in peace, that's what Pop said. I hit him up with some hot lead. Keep fronting, you'll get shot dead. I put that flame to your dome, now you really be a hothead. Don't make me put your brains on the sidewalk. Let's have a conversation. I'm gonna let that nine talk. Since you wanna be all slick with the mouth, how about I rip the side of your face since you really wanna side talk? Hit him with a deuce, deuce. 2 shots, doop, doop. Have your brains on the floor. That should be looking like couscous. I told you I was cool, woohoo. Blow your candles out like happy birthday to you. Cause conflict, it'll get crucial. I don't need a gun. I put paws on them. I'm clues.
Yo, you want to know what? This is why I love Bates. That's Bates. That's Bates from the heart, my nigga. Because even when he's regular, that's him, son.
So, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Be yourself. That's it.
I told you I was cool, woohoo. Blow your candles out like happy birthday to you. Cause conflict, it'll get crucial. I don't need a gun. I put paws on them. I'm clues. That's word the Corey. I'm out of my llama bean. Say the word. I split that llama bing. Let that llama ring. Them shots so loud they be like coño. I have the scene looking real laqueroso. Y'all niggas is bozos. Toto. Rest in peace to Kobe. Pull out them 2-4s. Hit them with Orchard. I'm done.
There you go. There you go.
Yo, that video was fire too.
Appreciate it.
The video's fire too. I like
Well,
that.
I
bless
spit
you,
that.
babe.
I appreciate it, but I spit that verse because the people told me I'm so trash.
See that?
That's one thing you don't say about me, man. I've been doing this shit for too long.
Don't fuck with Bates, son.
When they was at the video shoot, they said, "Who the fuck is he?" He's that.
He said, "That's why you in last, yo." And you
I didn't even
had a
spit the
legend.
whole.
You had a
I
legend
didn't-
co-sign you too, B.
Come on, bro. And I didn't even spit the whole verse. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, this is easy work, man. This is something I love to do.
What you working with? What you working on now, Bates?
Everything been on hold, but listen, I got 5, 6, 7 joints that I just got to knock out in the studio, and I'm gonna shoot video for everything. Like Shannon asked me before, yo, Bates, album? I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it different. I'm not doing no album. I'm just gonna hit everybody with singles. Why not?
Yeah.
Right.
So everything I do, I'm gonna just put it out.
So keep us posted, son.
That's what to say. You gotta holler.
Oh, no, everything. This pandemic shit, man. Everything was on hold. We got like I was saying, there's real issues going on. There's family. There's a lot of issues going on, man. So, I'm being a father. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Being a
And that's
great
what
father
motivates me
too, yo.
man.
You're being a great father, yo.
Thank you, bro. My daughter's going on 16 next week, man.
Woo.
And she's a motivation to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Dad, you got it.
You got it, son.
That's
Like when people hate on me, I tell her.
Two best co-signs in the world, your daughter and Coogee Rap. You can't ask
Come on, son.
You don't need nothing else, yo.
Come on, son. My daughter alone, man. But like Cool G Rap was like, because you know, my man Frank Cook was the one that went first. They got connected. He was telling Frank Cook he was fire. Frank Cook hit me like, yo, guess who I just spoke to on the phone? Cool G Rap. I was like, word? It's like he want, because you know you had to get clearance and all that. Because you know the music business. That nigga said, yo, I want to drop 16. Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I guess. Come on, man. And niggas be hating because it's like, oh, I heard niggas and some certain niggas, I ain't gonna say their names. Nobody trying to hit Cool G Rap no more. What the fuck told you?
That's a dummy. Don't see
And
you
that's
as a
the
dummy.
problem. Because if
That's the
Cool
shit
G
you
Rap
can't listen. That's the shit you can't listen to.
come on, bro. I did a song with Cool G Rap where we're in the video and he's right there, man. Look where we come from.
Yo,
Come from Boston. I came from Boston Road, man. I came from a nasty, whatever you want to call that.
Mm-hmm.
You called it the jungle, master. When they used to look in Hillside, they like, yo, we not coming in here.
so people
Yo,
go
talk
out
about it, son.
of their way to discredit you so much that discredit Coogee Rap.
Huh? Say that
I
again.
said people will go out of their way to try to discredit you so much that they're willing to discredit Coogee Rap. Yo,
Come on, man.
nobody want to listen to Coogee Rap no more.
And it goes from what I'm telling y'all. It's hate before love, man.
Yeah.
And there's people, and I'm gonna be honest, because I know people. You know, shout out to my man Naj the Official, one of the best directors. He even shot that video. He's shooting videos for everybody. But he told me, "Yo, Bates, blah blah blah, say he don't like your verse." Kind of hurt.
Why would you tell me that? I think you don't like me either since you're relaying that message,
I
nigga.
mean, nah, that's yo. So I want to say something. So I want to So Sidewalk Part 2, it was supposed to be worked out where Lil Fame from MOP was gonna, you know what I'm saying, wanted to get on it. And then so I guess Lil Fame, you know, I would pick Cool G Rap, you know what I'm saying, because he's on the hook and whatever. And when I found out he didn't like my verse, that's only one time where I kind of felt it a little bit. I was like, damn, man, those are my niggas. But yo,
Low Fame didn't like your
Lil Fame was like, y'all like your man verse.
Oh.
But not knowing this is my song, my brother. I'm not featured. This is my song.
This is
You know what I'm
mine.
saying? And that's the only time where I was like, because everybody, I was getting hate, but it don't hurt me, bro.
Nah, it
When
should
I
make
heard
you
the thing with
stronger.
Lil Fame, I'm not gonna lie. When I heard about Lil Fame, it just right here, just a little bit. Oh my God.
But yo, you know something though? Respect is honesty. Respect
Absolutely. MOP is one of the
Yeah.
best groups of all time.
Because I'll be real with you. Like, yo, if he spit a verse that I didn't think was good, I would expect him to be able to accept it. I'll be like, nah, that ain't your best work.
That shit was whack, right?
Yeah, but I
Exactly.
heard he said,
that's subjective. That's subjective
so
too.
you got to understand what we saying too, because it's like this nigga at the end, some Spanish nigga. Who the fuck is this nigga? So they already hating on me. They don't know me.
Right.
So I heard they like, yo, he too animated. I'm like, look, man, I respect y'all. Listen,
you too animated?
Look, a bunch of he say, she say going on.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
That's
Everybody. I'm a rap fanatic. I love making music, man. I'm not like these other niggas on Fordham Road and 42nd Street. Like, yo, it's my mixtape. I don't do that. Like we were saying, we got jobs. I work a 9 to 5, take care of my daughter. We got a roof over our head. I live real life, man. I don't live out here like, yo, I want to be a rapper. I'm very talented, bro. Like, you can hate on me all you want. Like, I got it.
And
You know
that's
what I'm
the
saying?
attitude. That's the attitude you keep, bro. And
Yeah,
you've always
man.
had that attitude, son. Always,
I
bro.
try, bro. We had to go through a lot of pain and hurt, man. I've been through a lot of pain and hurt to get to where I'm at. Do I want to relive it? Absolutely not, man.
Yeah.
Right.
We go through real shit, man. I got my daughter to this day. My daughter's going on 16, and she still cries at night for her mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yo,
My mother died
don't
almost-
worry. When we get Lil Fame on the podcast, I'll ask him.
Nah, he probably don't remember that, but nah. Nah, listen, first of all, shout out to Lil Fame, Billy Dan's. MOP is one of the best groups that ever lived, man. It's just he say, she say. He probably didn't even say that, man. See what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, that's true.
I see we got B-Roll to check. I see my man G, Ira, Elijah.
Yeah,
What's up with y'all niggas, man?
Listen,
The Courtyard Cruise right here.
I'm saying when bass come on, man, people tune in, man.
Yo, you laughing? I'm dead serious. We get them on. I'm gonna ask them, be like, yo, there was a song
Nah, man, please don't do that. No. Listen, at the end of the day, I know we was gonna set it up where I guess Lil Fame told my man like, "Yo, you know that's fire." I mean, it didn't. I don't know the logistics, man, but we got Coogee Rap on there,
and that's all that matters.
and we got
That's all
Corey
that
Guns on
matters.
there, and you know, like shout out to them, shout out to Corey Guns, man.
And it's a great song. And it's a great
Thank you,
song. That's all that
thank you.
matters.
And then you think about it, Sidewalk ain't nothing to what people got, man. Like
Right.
this is easy, and
That shit.
not to sound cocky at all. I'm
Nah,
very
son.
humble.
It comes across that you
Mm-hmm.
put your hard work into it, man. And you
Yeah,
when you say it's easy, it's because you've worked for it to be easy.
right.
That's it.
So,
That comes with practice, yo. Just like
so,
that shot. How many times you shot that shot before it was water, my nigga?
oh yeah,
There's a
nigga.
lot of shots, yo.
A
Lot of bricks. You know what I'm saying? Before it was
lot of
like,
bricks.
oh, that's what I gotta do. That's it.
I'm
Come on,
glad you
son.
said that. I'm glad you said that. See, they wasn't respecting the jokes until we started winning some championships.
So you
All right, chill out. You know what I'm saying? So as what I'm saying, they wasn't with us shooting in the gym, man. We was in the park.
nah,
Yo,
son.
that was our therapy.
That was our therapy, B.
Yo, we out there from Saturday 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We playing ball till it's dark.
Till it's dark.
And then now you think about it, bro, that was our therapy.
Yes, sir.
Imagine what everybody on that court was going through that we didn't know about, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Playing ball,
And even with
kept me
Shannon,
focused, man.
Shannon was playing the AIA.
Yes, I know.
Let me tell you something. That motherfucker had some hops, man.
He always talked about when he dunked on Rice.
Yo, and that's a fact. Yo, look. I didn't want to, your rice. I'm sorry, bro.
right.
Listen. Shannon became family because we, you know, Rice built the embassy together. It was a crew, and it was me, Shannon. It was a couple of us.
Yeah.
Right.
When I first met Shannon, man,
That's it.
that fucking dunk, man. That motherfucker had some springs. He caught that shit off the rim. I was like, but it wasn't on me. It was on Rice, though. He caught it on Rice's neck.
Rice had never lived that down, son.
Rice denied it. Rice denied it.
Rice did not to this day, son.
I don't know if it was on Rice, but let me tell you something. He caught that shit. I ain't even gonna lie, man, because Shannon family, so we could talk about it now. At the time, I would have denied that shit. I was tight as a motherfucker. I was mad for 10 years. And remember when Shannon came around? I was like, oh, that's the nigga from AIA that dunked on you, nigga. Now you put him on the team.
Yo, son.
But then you see what I'm saying, too, like how y'all got this podcast. Y'all don't know, like Shannon was making music, too.
Yeah. That's
You see what I'm saying? Like,
mm-hmm.
this is a long grind, bro.
Yeah.
A long grind, man.
You know what's crazy? When I met Shannon, our daughters were going to prom. And just out of communication, because he went to Truman with my wife. And we just got to talk. He was like, hold on. You know Rice? I'm like, I raised Rice. I raised Norm. I raised those are my brothers right there. Like, are you serious?
Yeah,
And
son.
right from there, it just meshed, my nigga.
Yeah.
Bro.
Shannon
Shannon
been very solid, yo. Like, he's a solid brother.
Absolutely.
I got so much, and I met Shannon through Rice or whatever. Shannon always been a solid brother, man. Always been about his family, his business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do this forever. And what I'm saying is, like, on some, like, where I'm from, Master is just, like, right here for me, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something about Master that, dude, I remember when Master moved to Maryland, every time Master came back up, it was just a vibe. Every time he, like, Master's just one of those dudes that,
You know, let me tell you what it was. Y'all were the guys that were like me. We lived in the neighborhood, but we didn't want to touch none of the dirty shit. We didn't want to fuck with the drugs. We drank. We might have smoked, but we didn't want to touch the dumb shit. We played ball. We stayed out the way. And that was it, man. We stayed humble. We stayed respectful. And basketball kept us out of trouble, son.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say one more basketball story, man. I remember I'm old now, man. I'm going on 42 years old. We could talk about this shit now. So I remember, man, there was one game in the park, man. I'm on a fast break. I do my little slapping because, yo, bro, let me tell you something. I'll never forget this, man. If I had a gun, I would have shot Master that day, bro. So I'm on the break. I'm about to do my little pretty two-handed smack. This nigga master boarded the fuck out of me, man. Yo, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's the first day I think I would have scrapped with Master, yo, because I would never scrap with Master.
Yeah.
Yo, but the nigga bought, see, I was trying to be cute. I thought I was by myself, and my teammates is fucked up because they didn't even say, yo, watch your back. I guess they wanted to be boy. Yo, bro, I go up to do my little two. Yo, this nigga Master boarded my shit and held the ball. I said, niggas ain't shit, bro.
Listen, man.
Yeah, but listen, man.
That was part of the growing up. That was part
Yeah,
of rites
man.
of passage, man.
Yeah,
Just
son.
remember, rest in peace. Jib did that to me every time I went up, bro.
Yo, rest in peace to Jip. Jip was the first coach in the hood, man. UDC and all that, man.
You know what I'm
We can talk
saying?
about this shit. We can talk about this forever, man. We can
We can
talk
leave
about
it
this
here
forever.
tonight.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm gonna let y'all go. But Norm, thanks for pulling up, bro. I appreciate
yes,
it.
sir.
Appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
bro.
Keep doing y'all thing, man. Love y'all, man.
And
I'm here to
remember,
support.
yo, you got a platform here too, bro, when things start to working, bro.
Let
I
us know when you
appreciate it.
dropping something, man.
Let
Yeah,
us
yeah.
know.
Hopefully soon, man. I don't want to say nothing, but but hopefully the way things are looking, I got 5 joints, like a solid 5 joints that I just gotta go to the studio and knock out. Like, and y'all love it, man. Trust me, y'all love it. But
All right.
before y'all go, man, shout out to everybody on the chat. Niggas from the hood, Ira, Elijah, you got oh G, you got Shalon on
You
here,
got
Mr. G
Shalon
man.
in here. G-Man.
Y'all remember? Hold on, G Shalon was called G man. Remember? He was the singer, right? So he was down with Chubb Rock. I never forget this shit. He was down with Chubb Rock, right? And this is when the Keenan Ivory Wayans show was at a late night. And this nigga Gary went crazy on there. He was, niggas in the crowd, all types of shit. I thought he made it, man. Shout out to my man G. Shout out to Mr. Moreno, man. That's one thing I tell you about Gary. That dude was never scared, boy. That nigga will sing anytime.
You talk about ups, just to add on, you talk about ups. I watched Gary. I think we went to New Rochelle. And this nigga Gary looked like Vince Carter out there. Him and Cujo. At that point, Cujo was battling Gary and New Rochelle. They beat everyone else, and the finalist was Cujo and Gary, son.
You serious? That's
You
exclusive.
talk about some real leaps. I
You
was
talk
just
about
like,
some dunking shit. Oh yeah,
yeah,
yo,
yo.
Cujo used to make me mad, bro.
Yo,
Cujo
son.
used to make me mad. I remember he was playing in Eastchester and he dunked that shit. His arms over the rim, and I don't want to say it like that, but just a waste of fucking talent, bro. Like he had it. He was
no
a
heart.
lazy nigga, man.
He ain't had no heart. Yeah, he had no
Oh,
heart.
his heart was. But then the nigga knew karate and all that shit, man. And
That
Shannon,
ain't
this
mean
nigga
nothing.
looked like a real life G.I. Joe, man. Nigga was cut up all time. Yo, the nigga had no heart, man. And then he wound up doing life in jail. I'm sorry, right? He's doing
But you
life in
know,
jail.
yeah, he did
For the
some
body?
foul shit. You know, he did some foul shit. I was
He
on the
wound up.
he did some
No
foul shit.
disrespect, no disrespect. I mean, I
But
think he wound
what he
up killing.
used to do, he used to play ball in his boots.
Y'all remember?
Why he could jump so high?
That's why he could jump so high. He didn't play in sneakers. He played in fucking boots.
That motherfucker, he was a waste of fucking yo. Oh my god, man! Like
Me and Troy used to get on him all the time. Like that's how we got him to play in Eastchester because he
I
didn't want to
remember,
play in Eastchester. He
he
did
didn't
not
want to
want to
play.
play. He wanted to play in
Shout out to you and
'78.
Troy though, Master. Shout out to you and Troy for shout out to Troy, man. Troy has some game, but
Troy still played.
Troy and Master was holding it down in Eastchester Projects, man.
Troy still played ball, son. He's still running the tournaments. Over 50 squads, son.
Word, shout out to
Speaking of
Troy.
that, I don't know if you saw Kareem Reed had popped on for a minute.
Really?
Word?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Kareem Reed.
See
Yo,
that?
listen, man, I got y'all lit, man. I got people popping out, man.
God bless you, son.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, man, we can do this all
I
night,
hate
bro.
to tell you, it was before you came on, though.
Oh,
Yo, it was early in the scroll back.
that's what I get. That's what I
Kareem Reed. I was like, oh, so what's up?
Kareem Reed. But listen, we could do this all night, man. Listen, love y'all, man.
Love you too, baby.
We got to do this more often, man. We could do this. This was a little therapy session right here, man.
No doubt.
Listen, man,
Yeah,
no ID
son.
podcast, man. This is a hell of a thing y'all doing, man. Please continue to do it, man. I can't wait for it to evolve, man. Listen,
Yo,
man, y'all got
son, we here, man. We got a platform for anybody that want to talk about. They got a product, if they got a mission, they got a movement. We here. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about it, man. Let's put some light on it, man. Now,
yeah.
shout out to you too, Elijah. I know you out there moving. You moving the world, son. You out there making moves, son. You get your ass out here too, bro. Word
Don't
is
gas
bond,
that.
son.
Don't gas that
Don't
nigga, man.
gas him. All right.
Yo,
I'm gonna gas you anyway. Get on here, son.
Yo,
yo,
shout out
thank
to
you everybody
everybody,
for
man.
pulling up. Appreciate
All
that.
right,
Yo,
peace.
love y'all. Peace, man.
Peace.
All right.